Hey guys, welcome back to Daily Insomnia. This is episode 150. This is a pre-record episode.
Pre-record episode, yeah.
Yeah, it's
This is dropping Monday.
Monday, but today is Thursday,
the 27th.
The 27th.
So is it dropping the first or no? You know, it's dropping.
Don't make me do math right now.
It's dropping Monday.
Struggling.
But in the studio, guys, we have another special guest. He's a wrestler here in Woodstock. He's a powerlifter. They call him Mero Mero. Victor Iniestra. Thanks for coming in today, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
An old friend, man.
Old friend, yeah. Old soccer teammate.
Old soccer team, yeah.
Yeah.
The Woodstock Leagues.
Yeah, the Woodstock Leagues.
Wild West.
The Mexican Division 1, right?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
The best of
The best of the best out there.
Yeah.
God.
Dude, yeah, so we met in community college, right? You know, all the Mexicans, we tend to find each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You just
Right?
gravitate.
Of course.
You just gravitate.
Yeah.
You know, you see a Mexican, you walk into class, see a Mexican sitting by himself. Safe area.
Yeah.
Let's go sit
Let's
over there.
just go chill with him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, we met there, man. And then we went to parties. We did we played soccer,
Yeah. Mhm.
and surely, man. Like now we're back at it.
Back at it, dude.
Back at it a couple years later, no?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, fuck. It's been, how long has it been? That was 2011, 2012, around there, I think.
No way. It's been that.
Yeah, dude.
No.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
When's the last time we played soccer?
2012.
around there.
2012.
Yeah, because I'm like the world's gonna end. Might as well go full.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute, dude.
8 years?
8 years. Dude.
Wow, dude.
No, because we were I had to be a little longer.
14.
We were already all
huh?
21.
I thought it was 14 was like the last time.
I know we all played on a team together, and we
Yeah.
met at the MCC, so it had to have been 2012, 2011.
Yeah,
But when we played soccer, I think it was 2014.
2030. Well, we could cut it in the middle. 20.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
All
Doesn't matter.
Let's
But,
meet halfway.
yeah. But yeah, we were on the worst soccer team ever, dude. Yeah, right.
Dude, I think we won one game.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it was against the worst team. Team worse than us.
Here's the saddest part of it, man. I remember we were all young, right? We were all relatively in good shape,
Yeah.
right? Yet, we were listening to guys that were coming in drinking chelas. You know what I'm saying?
Still, and the sidelines
Still,
each other.
the guys that had a nice beer belly, you know, they just showed up. They woke up like literally like they still had bed hair, and we would lose all the fucking time. Dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like even when we played with them, like fucking, I mean, we had a shitty ass team, dude. We had people that didn't deserve to be like on the field. They were just they weren't even athletes. They weren't even like.
This guy's like, "What you talking about me?"
Hey, I never played soccer in my life. But
Nah,
I was
no.
out there giving my all.
We had people that weren't even athletes and shit. We had people in there like, why is this guy fucking playing and whatnot? I mean, you know, but like I never played soccer in high school, but I mean, I've been playing for a while now. I still play right now, but it's not as much as I was.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, like even then, you look at people and you're like, well, why is this guy even out here? What the fuck?
You still playing in Crystal
In
Lake?
the same league or?
Not so. So I'm playing ahorita, but I haven't gone in like a couple weeks. You know? Well, no, I haven't gone because I've been wrestling. Yeah, because I've been wrestling and shit. So like, and then I wake up the next day and I'm like, fuck, I'm hurting and shit. And the games are early, so I'm like, all right, well, if it's in the afternoon, I'm gonna go.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
Those games.
I mean, you have a game Saturday in the morning. Okay, yeah, I could probably do that. Right? Sunday in the morning.
I know.
Oh, you're stretching it, bro.
But here's the thing: we're in the shitty league, dude. We're in the
No,
shitty
I
league.
know, but it
So
was
that's
like
why they
one
give
of
the
those
shitty
things
time
where,
slots.
First of all, that's God's day. So let's slow down, all right? At least after church hours. It doesn't mean I'm gonna go to church, but at church hours, right?
I mean, I'm just doing that for the cardio, though. It's not like you know, I do that but then after that, I'm not as like serious as I was before. But I just do it more for the cardio.
Yeah.
So
I miss it though. Like even though like we had the worst team ever and we won maybe one game by default.
I scored a goal.
We won two.
that game.
Well, because one team didn't show up that one weekend.
Oh.
And then we won one that like we actually made goals and all that. But yeah, I miss playing soccer, man. Like it's one of those things where I'm I wish I had time for it. I think I you know.
I don't think it's so much the time. I think it's like it's hard to really get it organized.
Yeah,
According
because
to
you
the
said
game.
you wanted people that are gonna show up and people that are gonna
Right.
play, and people that might actually were like, hey, maybe run some days, a couple
yeah,
days
of course,
in the week. You know what I
of
mean?
course. I've had people that are actually in fucking shape and not
Yeah.
fat as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not too bad. It's like I said, I only do it for the cardio now. I'm more focused on like powerlifting and wrestling and all that, and then acting classes here and there. So that's more my focus. I'm not really like, I just like I said, I just do it for fun and cardio. That's pretty much the only thing I do it for.
Do you play with anybody that we used to play with?
Do you know it's the Spooky?
Spooky, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who's actually running one of the teams now. And then like he invited me to come play, so I go.
Okay.
But I mean, at the same time, like I barely show up now. It's just like, I'm just too fucked up.
He's like, I thought he's like spooky. He's like, I thought I was the ghost.
Yeah, he's running the shit outside.
Was he spooky on the team?
Yeah, he was there too.
I think he was. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who everyone.
See, I remember him from SIBO because he was from SIBO.
Okay.
Originally.
Yeah, and then I know his cousin lived out there. I don't think his cousin lives out there anymore though.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he lives in Rockford. Out there, Ben just got married and got a house out there, so he's over there.
Yeah, he living that Mexican life right there.
There you go. Fucking
He's
cheaper.
like, let's get these little puppies out.
Yeah, I heard it's cheaper out there to live out there. So
Oh, for sure. Well, it's not the greatest place to be yet. You know what I'm saying? Houses are cheap. Houses are cheap, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I don't know. Now I really want to go towards the city out in Chicago. So that's I like being in the chaos. I don't like being in like.
You like to be in the rush, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't like when it's dead. I don't like when there's downtime. I like being out in chaos and shit. Like if I don't. It's fucked up as it sounds. Like I like listening to fucking like helicopters or ambulances or all that. Or like, even just people, not gunshots, not gunshots, but like like just loudness. People
Normal
talking.
Help!
No. Like people talking and all that. Like you hear people outside. I don't like when this is dead.
Do you like privacy? I mean, that's the biggest thing being in the city. You feel like you don't have that privacy because
you definitely give up your privacy, but
of course. But I mean, like I'm like okay, privacy. When you say privacy, do you mean like it's dead silence or like you just
I guess like privacy in a matter of like especially like being kind of in an apartment and stuff. Like you can't really.
Yeah, like you're in an apartment, you're gonna hear what all your neighbors do. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so I like when there's like for example like if you live in one of the neighborhoods like out in the city or in the suburbs también, like say let's put Algonquin on Randall Road or something like that. You hear traffic. You're in one of the neighborhoods. You still hear traffic. You're hearing cars.
I hear traffic here, man. I hear 90 all night.
Oh yeah, it's right. Yeah,
I hear 90 all night, dude.
Even though it's like probably like 3 miles away from you, 4 miles.
You'd be surprised.
Wow.
Like voice, like the sound travels, man. But yeah, like you're saying, but like you can get the same thing, right? Like that's what you're trying to say, right? Like, you can live in an apartment out here and get the same.
I like when it's still loud. I like it still being around places. I like when if I'm exiting my house and then I go onto the main road, I can see okay, there's the main road right down my street, or like there's people over here. I don't like just walking out and it's pitch fucking black like in a farmland and all that. I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like it's all that like quietness. I like when it's loud. I like. I'm not trying to be by a train track either.
You want life.
Exactly.
Want life.
There you go. Like that's why I like the city life and all that too.
I
like or a suburbs, like but a busy suburb, not like
busy suburb, like maybe Schaumburg or
But that's the nice thing about living in the city too. That is like because you see so many people like working and so many people hustling that it pushes you to hustle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because nobody's like, oh, I'm gonna stay home.
But you get the idea of being in the city, like everyone's out there trying to be something or do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in a sense.
And there's always something to do.
Exactly.
That's the nice thing about it.
Of course. I hate when it's dead. I just hate when it's dead. And I don't like just sitting around, like fucking, like this whole COVID thing like messed me up for a while. I was like, damn, I gotta sit at home. Like, fuck this shit. This is fucking.
You're like a normal guy. You don't play games or something like that.
I do. I play. Well, now I did more because of the whole COVID. So I've been playing a lot more Warzone and shit. Okay. So that's dope. I like doing that. But I mean, like my main thing was just wrestling. Was the powerlifting training. It's the doing the vlogging and all that stuff. Yeah. I was doing more acting out in Second City. Yeah. But all that, as soon as COVID hit, everything shut back down. And I was actually in New York when that happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, like, my girlfriend was living out in New York. And it's the art in Harlem.
She lives out there?
Well, she was in Harlem. She was out there. She moved out there. She was doing, like, journalism and all that. So she moved out in Harlem. Yeah, she's out there in Harlem. But then COVID hit. And as soon as COVID hit, like, I think the week that the United States was shutting down, it's the week after, like that week, she moved back to Illinois. So she was out there for like 2 months, but COVID fucked everything up. So she moved back.
It's funny because when I was out, because I was living in Florida, as soon
during COVID,
when that week, I think the same week that I would say that your girlfriend came back to Illinois, I came back too. I was, you know what? It's done. It's done and over, dude.
Because O'Hare was doing all this shit with like, we're gonna stop doing all these flights and everything like that.
States, yeah.
So all that happened. And I was thinking, fucking, my flight gets canceled. I'm going to have to fucking drive back or something like that. So, but no, everything was fine. We flew back and COVID happened and all that happened. And, but now, obviously, shit's opening up now. So,
yeah.
So, man. But she might move back there soon as maybe like after COVID's done or whatever. But,
Was she going to school out there or just?
No, she was just straight doing journalism out there. She went to
that's a hustle. Yeah. That's a hustle.
Of course, yeah, everything. I told her, she's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go, and I'm like, look, just fucking go. I'm like, if an opportunity comes up for me where I need to move or something like that, like I'm dipping. Like I'm not gonna think twice about it. So I mean, who's to say like I'm gonna tell you to stay here? Fuck that, fucking go. Like what are you do?
You know, dude, I subscribe to the same mentality. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those boyfriends that he's like, oh, we need to be with each other all the time. We need to like you can't go anywhere without me knowing. It's like, do your thing.
Of course.
Like we're always gonna have this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you do need that like.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
that personal
Got a
time,
little reminder.
you know?
Yeah.
But overall, like, if you're busy and you can't see him for a whole week, it's okay.
Exactly. Of
Like,
course.
I'm not gonna die. Like, you know, like
I got other stuff. This is the thing.
Yeah.
I have other stuff I have to worry about too. You know what I'm saying? I'll take care of other stuff.
Yeah.
Where you're at,
like,
you know?
I think overall, like, the main thing is just that, like, you know, having that communication, right? Like, you don't talk to each other every day, right?
Yeah.
Text, call, whatever the case is, right?
Of course.
But yeah, like, exactly. Like, if you have an opportunity to do something great, take it.
Of course, yeah. That's what I told him. Like, if there's something to do, like, fucking go for it. What the hell are you gonna do over here? Like, what the fuck are you gonna do over here? And I'm like, if it doesn't work, then just fucking move back. What does it matter?
Yeah.
But you know, obviously, there's people that we talk to and shit. They're like obviously, she told me about it. That people have told her like, hey, you're gonna go out there. What about Victor? Like, is he gonna go out there?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, no, he's at his own thing, his own goals. Like, so maybe later. And they're like, what? He's gonna fucking leave you here? Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
But that's the thing with those people are just living the same cycle. You know what I'm saying? Just living the same cycle.
The same mentality.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I'm gonna get a girlfriend. We're gonna get married.
Yeah.
Babies.
And it's
right
over.
away. Right
And
away.
we're still gonna live in this one place again.
of course.
Still.
I don't see that happen. I don't want to fucking live a regular life.
No,
We're
that's
just like,
good.
go to work, come home, go to work, come home, and
No,
then what's
no,
for
no.
dinner and I'll work, come home. Fuck that. That sounds awful to
It's
me.
so mundane, dude. Yeah, it's just like those people are some of like the saddest people. Like, if you enjoy your job and if you enjoy doing it 9 to 5 and you like the consistency, you like all of that, for sure. Like, there's
Fuck it,
people
yeah.
definitely out there who love that, right? But not everybody's built for that, right? Not everybody's built to go to school. Not everybody's built to work at manual labor. Like, some people, like, they need something else. They need something that's gonna like help them. Like you, right? You say you're doing wrestling and doing powerlifting
And acting, dude.
and
Acting. Yeah.
It's like
That's awesome.
It's like you need something to go for. I can't just wake up and then be like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
But that's the problem. A lot of people do that. A lot of people wake up and don't have ones, like I said when we were at the bar, that hobby, that second drive to kind of I don't know, in a way, like, get yourself out of your comfort zone, you know? Break the cycle.
Yeah, and I think those people, like the ones that, like you said, like they were saying, like, oh, so what about Victor? What about your relationship? Like, you're gonna make it long distance. It's like, first of all, why even put that in their head?
Oh my god, dude! There's some people that talk shit. It's crazy when people talk shit. It's like you look at them and they're like, wow, this motherfucker said that, but like this person's really close to me. Like, why the fuck would they say that? I would expect this person to say it, but why the fuck would this person say that? You know, and I don't say anything to them just because I'm like, I'm not gonna say shit because whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna
First of all, why are you
say
worried about my relationship? Man?
Exactly,
Worry about
yeah.
your relationship, dude. We're good. We're strong. We that's the reason why we can do this.
Like, you
know
can
what I'm saying?
ask, but when you start like, well,
yeah. It's just they start dropping unnecessary comments like, bitch, what the fuck? Like if you weren't this person, like, you know what I mean? Like shit, I know, but it's just. I mean, the only thing you can do is just like whatever, like ignore them and then just I'm gonna do my shit because I mean, obviously they're not happy or they have different goals than what I do. So fuck these people.
And then like the other thing I also subscribe to, man, is that like nobody knows what's gonna happen, right? She like they could stay here in town and we break up, right? Like she stays that week and with that week we break up, or she goes out there and we last forever.
Yeah.
Right? And like who knows? Nobody knows. Like I don't control that. Nobody controls that. It's like in the sense it's the unknown, right? It's the biggest unknown in life, right? Because you can get married. It doesn't mean you're going to be married for the long term.
Exactly. That's what I always see. I see people do that shit. I see them like, they're going to get married. And then like, yo, when are you going to get married, Victor? I'm like, whoa, hold on. Like, chill. Like, hold on. Like, wait, we got our own goals. But then they get married and then like a couple years later, they're done. Like, what the fuck?
And you complain.
Yeah.
Dude. And they're like, yeah, man, she's, bitching about this and, I can't do that. And they're like, hey, man, you want to come out with us? Like, you want to come over? I can't, man. I'm a girl, man.
Yeah. Like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't know. We're just two different people. I always say that we're two different people. Like, I have different personality and she has different personality. Like, we're different people from everyone else that we know. And
but you guys
like,
connect your own way.
Of course. We always do that. And
you
it's
guys
just
connect your own way.
like we just we're in our goals. I have my goals in lifting. I have my goals in wrestling. I have my goals in acting. She has her goals in journalism. We're trying to get a building in Chicago and all that. Build the other income. But like I talk to the regular people and they're just like, well, why? Like, why don't you just get a house and all that? I'm like,
well, let's say a lot of people,
dude. Close-minded, dude. Like you'll be surprised by how much like. And not only, I mean, not to get political or anything there, but it's the same mentality, right? These like close-minded people that are just like, they only see one way of living or one way of thinking, right?
And that's the right way. If that's the right way,
yeah. But there's so many other ways. There's so many other ways, right? It's like, it's just people like you said. People are like, hey, you gonna get married? You're gonna get like. I get the same question, dude. Too. I've been with my girl for 2 years, man. And people are like, oh, you gonna get married? So when you guys gonna get married and start having kids? And I'm like,
fuck.
That is a life.
Why
live
life to the
life.
equation? If it happens, it happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, anybody who's in a relationship should see it in the sense like this is for the long term, right? Nobody goes into, you shouldn't go into a relationship like, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, this is somebody where I could build a future with.
Yeah.
Right? But doesn't mean we have to build that future right now. Right? Let's slow down. Let's enjoy life.
We're still trying to find our paths in life. Why put that in the mix?
Yeah, like you said, like if you want to go to Harlem and do journalism, you can do that because we don't have kids.
Of course, there's always going to be harder way later on to do this. I don't understand why people think like that. They just think by this age I got to do this, by that age I have to do this, and then that, and it's just I see a bunch of our friends do that, and they're locked in that cycle, and then I see them later on, and I'm like, hey man, how are things going? And then like 9 out of 10 times,
I hate it.
9 out of 10 times they're like, it's all right,
Yeah,
it's all right, and I'm like, why? And then just to be nice, why? What happened?
They're doing the safe thing, man. They're doing the safe thing. That's a safe thing. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's done it. It's a safe thing, and I'm just gonna stick with the safe thing. Nobody wants to take a risk and see what happens, man.
Nope.
Once again, nobody wants to see the unknown because they're scared of it.
They're scared of the unknown.
It's scary. It's scary, right? It's scary not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary not knowing that like, oh, I have a job this whole week.
Mm-hmm.
If you dive into something different, right? Like let's say a podcast. Let's say we give up everything, right? And we're like, this is our only source of income.
Mm-hmm.
One episode might be good, the next episode might not be good.
Yeah.
But it's that drive, right? That unknown where you're like, but I
You
know
gotta
if I
keep
keep
going,
working,
gotta
I know if I
keep
keep
going,
working, this is gonna be.
And that's the thing. People don't see that. They just want to see the fucking check every time. And it, like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I've talked to people and they look. I try to see like where they're from and like what they're about and what they want to do. And when like I said, 9 out of 10 times the people that I've talked to, they're always in that same mentality. Like, oh, I'm gonna work, like I'm gonna do this. And then when you tell them, when they ask you, well, what about you? And you tell them, they're kind of like, what the fuck? Like, all right, whatever. And then so it's like, just get away from me. I don't need to talk to you. Like,
Yeah.
That's the type of people you don't want in your circle, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
sad, dude.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Your circle, right? The people around you. That's like, I've been fortunate enough with my.
That's
a lie.
What do you mean?
Because I have this ongoing bit on the podcast where like I say I don't have friends, and because I'm like they don't invite me. Like this bastard, this guy, my co-host, dude, I see him every week, man. We're really good friends, right?
Yeah.
At least I thought we were really good friends.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy right here. I would so I would see on Snapchat and he was throwing like house parties at his crib.
Yeah.
And he would invite all our friends. They were all there drinking, having a good time. But not once would I get an invite.
Hey.
And I was like, wait, I'm finished. And I was like, all right, this is weird. But I'm like, it happens, right? Because sometimes, I mean, maybe they just assumed that I was with my girl, which is fine. Which is cool.
Girl or work.
But it became consistent. And it was one of those things where I was just like, oh, you guys don't want me around.
Yeah.
And then I called him on the podcast, man. And I was like joking around, right? I was like, hey man, like I guess I had friends, but I don't have any friends anymore. If I'm like, fuck you guys,
Oh, you texted him this?
Yeah, no, I'm like, here
Say in the podcast.
yeah.
What episode it was?
And then like the week later, they're like, hey, what do you want to do this week? You want to come over this weekend? I'm like, nah, it's over.
Yeah,
It's over, man.
I said my piece.
It's my piece, man.
Yeah.
But not joking around, but like my friends is like, they're in the same boat, man. None of us are married. You remember Fabiola, you remember Iniestra, and all them, right? Like, they're not married. They don't have kids. They're still like trying to accomplish things.
Yeah.
And, and we're in fucking our late 20s, dude.
Yeah. That's the thing. People, like I said, dude, people want to figure this shit out early.
But we should that should be normalized, man. We don't have to have it all together by the time we hit 30, man. No. Let's get our stuff together maybe in 35, maybe in 40s,
you
man.
Can't have everything shit together, but not everything happens at the same rate.
Yeah.
Right? Not everybody has, gets married the same day, has a kid at the same time. It's all about, and then we live longer too, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't feel old. I don't feel like I look old.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the best shape of my life currently, right now.
Same.
And slow down, man. You were in better shape when you were goalie. But it's like this mentality. Like, I see photos of my parents, man. Like back when they're my age, they already had 2-3 kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
At 25, dad's married and had me at 25.
That's our culture, I think. Yeah,
that's our culture, for sure. Our culture, our culture is like settle up real quick. They start pumping down those brown babies out. And
right away. You know how many times fucking people tell me, when are you going to pop kids? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you're almost 30. I'm like, well, I'm 28. What the fuck are you talking about? And like, well, you need to have kids because, later on they say your girlfriend's not going to be like good enough. Like, well, what do you mean like good enough? Did she expire or what are you talking about?
Well,
like,
technically, yes, kind of.
Sadly, women do have a clock.
Yeah.
But even then, there's still ways around that.
There's people that I've seen, like athletes that don't necessarily end up having kids in like their mid 30s.
Yeah.
And shit. So I mean, because they have a career in like athletes or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And they end up getting pregnant later on. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't think there's one way to do it. I think there's just
exactly.
You can get pregnant early, you can get pregnant in the middle, or later on. As long as whatever you do is you're happy, because I've met people that are just completely fucking miserable. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, I've talked to them, and they just like, you're looking at them, and just by the way you're looking at them, you're talking about like, yeah, dude, I'm doing this and this. You could just see like the fucking depression. They're just like,
it's the worst conversation.
I'm
dude.
like, oh my god,
you don't even know what to say. You know, because you look at them like, yeah, you know, I don't want to do this, man. You know, my girl, this, that.
To be honest, I avoid people like that.
I avoid conversation.
If people I see like at the grocery store or anything like that, I see them like, oh, they're from my high school, or I used to talk to them, fucking run away to the other side. Dude. I'm like, oh no,
it's like back
Forrest
to my
Gump, Forrest Gump. You know what? I just leave my grocery cart there and just go to the car. Just straight to the car, just go home.
I mean, what are you gonna say to that person? They've already made up their mind, and you don't want to hear that shit. Like, what the fuck?
But like you said, man, as long as they're happy,
and because you're human, you feel bad.
That too.
You know what I mean? Because you do feel bad. Like, you have a conversation with somebody where you're just like, you see they're like in a rough spot, and you know you feel pity, but not like in a bad sense, but it's just like man, like it sucks, man. I wish things were better for you.
And then you give them advice, and they still don't want to listen. So it's like, well,
but then you give them advice, and there's always those people that you give advice, and you keep giving them advice, and then like it's like it goes through 1 year and goes out.
Yep, that's
like,
why
I can't have this conversation again.
Yeah, you're just like, you're just going in a circle. Fuck this shit. I don't even talk about this. Like, obviously, you didn't get it the first time. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the person like that. I just like, I like what I like. I like what I do and all that. And obviously, like, I want to get to a point where I'm making money in this somewhat or somehow. I don't know what it is, but as long as I'm doing something with this, I'm like, okay, I'm
Dude,
I'm
the
even.
goal is to be your own boss, man. Be
Exactly.
And enjoy it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Enjoy what the fuck you do, man, because I don't want to be just a regular person just fucking in there just.
The journey's the hardest part, man. The journey's the hardest part, man. Just getting there is the hardest part, man.
The longest road.
Yeah. You never know we're gonna hit that you know, like we're digging. I don't know if you've seen the picture of where the guy's like digging to find diamonds and stuff. You never know.
Everybody's seen it.
Yeah,
and he gives up, and the guy's like, one more. Like,
exactly. You never know. That maybe that last push might be it.
That is.
It might be it, man.
Like yeah, this like really like. We were talking to, so we had a comedian in the last episode. So episode 149 with Oscar. And he was telling us, like, you know, some people, when like some of the comics, they go up to the clubs, right? And maybe they don't have you know, like an open mic that night for them, you know what I mean? Maybe there's no more, like, all the open mics are signed up, you know? But they still go there hoping. Maybe like one of the guys doesn't show up. So they got free 5 minutes right there. And like, hey, who wants to jump on right now? Yeah. Right? Or come here and just network with us, like talk to us, like become a face that you're familiar to the point where it's like, oh yeah, you're you come every week, right? You're Victor. Yeah. Hey man, you know, actually John canceled tonight. You want to jump on? Like, yeah, for sure. That's great, man. And it's just like that, little things like that, opportunities, man. Yep. If you weren't there that night, who would have gotten the mic? The other guy.
Yep. That's the same thing with like wrestling. I mean, I have like a thing that fortunately where like I'm training at this one place and then like I'm there. And, like, I'm booked, like, every Saturday I'm there. But sometimes, you know, obviously you're feeling like shit. Not every match is going to be good. Not everything's going to be dope. Like, all that. Obviously, you have your positives and your negatives. But, I mean, if I'm not doing this, then what the fuck else am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to be over there fucking just doing nothing? What the fuck? I could be getting better at this. Instead, I'm over here doing nothing, you know, watching TV or whatever. So I'd rather be here working on this, even though if it's not the greatest, you know, I might not have the greatest match, I might not have the greatest whatever, like, but it's still something. I'd rather be there than fucking not there.
Let's get into this, man, because I'm so curious about. Okay, so we're talking about.
Is it really fake?
Like, is it fake, bro?
Is it really fake, dude?
No, but it's like, we're talking about wrestling, like like WWE, you know, wrestling, right? Where did this pop up? Like, how did you get involved in this world?
So so right now I'm training at Premier Pro Wrestling. That's in Woodstock, Illinois. It's that's where the promotion's at. It's run by a guy named Randy Ritchie. He's over there, and he used to work with WWE. He used to be in Puerto Rico. He used to be all everywhere, TNA, all these other promotions. So anyway, he's running the place. But I've always wanted to do it since I was young. You know, I've always looked at it. But like, you know, I was just like, it's on TV. It's cool. You know, it's a thing that I watch. Whatever. I go to school. I think I was telling you about this earlier. I go to school. I go to MCC. I go to community college. And I'm thinking, what the fuck do I do? Like, I don't understand what to do. I hate this shit. I don't want to be in the medical field. I don't want to be a psychiatrist. I don't want to be a cop. Nothing. None of this shit interests me. I'm like, fuck it. I might do the army. So I don't do it. You know, whatever. I end up deciding that I'm going to go to Chicago to play Division III football. Yeah. I talk to their coach, whatever. I get in there. And I play my season, whatever, you know, it's cool. I'm talking to the coaches. It's looking like now I might be getting a lot more playing time and all that. It's looking like it from what I'm seeing. I look at the bills and all that. I'm like, I'm not gonna be getting another loan for all this shit. Fuck that. I'm like, what can I do? That's when I see online on Facebook at the time. I don't know if they still have it. That where it says things you might be interested in. That popped up on there and it said Premier Pro Wrestling. So I look at that. I'm like, where is this? Yeah, I'm like, and at the time I was looking at going to Houston. I was thinking of going to Houston. I'm like, fuck, I might go out there because there's another wrestling out there. Another school out there. You're looking. I was looking. I was looking already. Yeah, because I'm like, this might be a perfect time to do it. Screw it. I'm 23 at the time. Yeah. Apenas I turned 23. It's 23, 22 going on to 23. I'm like, I'm gonna do Houston. Fuck it. But then that popped up. So I'm like, screw it. It's right here where I live. So I go to the place. I look at it. I hit them up on Facebook. Go there. And they're like, it's this much to train. You got to pay this much a month. Fuck it. I just drop the money, whatever. Here's the money, whatever. I go try out. They're like, okay, you're in. I'm in. I'm starting to train. And I just fall in love with it more, dude. I'm falling in love with it. I'm meeting people, man. Everything. The process, like we were talking about, everything is a process. At first, I went in there. I had my first match, and my girlfriend went to see me. It fucking sucked ass. I'm looking at it back, and I'm like, this match is awful. I'm like, why my hair look like that?
How much were you training, though, before you had your first match?
How long did I train? I think I was training 3.5 months, and then I had my first match.
And you're learning how to
I'm learning how to so I'm in the beginning fall. Yeah, I'm learning how to fall. I'm learning how to fucking get slammed. I'm learning all those little things. It's the like get slammed, the basic stuff. It's the I don't know how to connect with a crowd yet. I don't know how to do this shit. I don't know how to. There's a process to doing things. There's a certain steps to do it. You can't just go in there and just slam somebody. You have to. There's a process to do it. There's like a. How should I explain it?
You gotta build it up.
Exactly. There's an outline of it. You can't just go.
You're building a story.
Exactly. Yes. That's the perfect thing right there.
You're building a story.
Exactly. You're building a story. You can't just talk about it in an essay and you go straight to the conclusion without the body. There's a process, and a lot of people don't know that. They just go in and just do this shit, and you notice it once you get good at something. At least I don't want to sound cocky, but when you get decent at something, let's put it like that. You look at you look at other people like and you critique them. You're like, I don't know if this guy knows what he's doing. You start looking like that. And to an average viewer, they might look at it and be like, that's cool. But to another person that knows what they're actually doing, you might look at them and say, that's fucking stupid. Like, it's like in songwriting. Someone might look at a song, and then you look, and then this other person over here that's like fucking multi-platinum is looking at this song, and it's like, why does this guy, like, why are they looking at this? It's same shit. Same shit. There's a process for everything and all that. But yeah, man, I love what I do. I fucking, hopefully one day I make it big time. I was talking this to some people, but it's just, hopefully the goal is to make money out of it and get there eventually, but everything's a process. It's just a process. But yeah, man, you just got to deal with this shit. Everything's not going to be as smooth as it is. But, just got to keep doing it. Like you guys know, you got to keep fucking pushing. You guys are 150, it fucking takes a process. People would have quit at 50. It's just a process.
People quit at 5. Man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Exactly, dude.
So your first match, so how does that work? So obviously, I don't want to ruin people's goats. Not goats, dreams. Wrestling, it is almost like it's a performance, right?
Yeah.
It's like a play, right? Because you guys know who's gonna win going into it or no?
It's predetermined. Right? Yeah. It's predetermined, but it just depends on the promoter what he wants to do, what he wants to just do with the story and all that, and who's drawing more money. It's just a lot of ins and outs and all that. People that don't think about it. It's just, and now, like I said, I showed up. I didn't know shit, but as soon as I got there, I'm like, oh, okay, there's a whole fucking other world where I've never even knew. Yeah. But there's a process to it, and it's it depends what he wants. Whether he wants to go 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. It's your job to get there.
And how do you know like if you're gonna be like we're at the 20-minute mark? Listen it here.
You gotta build a mental clock. Yeah. A mental clock because sometimes you gotta build a mental clock. That's the way I rather do it because that way I don't have to depend on someone else telling me. It's you're at 20 minutes. You don't. No, I want to build a mental clock, and that's the cool thing about where I train at. They tell you, hey, you got to build a mental fucking clock. So then once you're there and you're thinking, okay, it's probably 18 minutes. Okay, let's do this. Or maybe it's probably 20 minutes. Okay, maybe I should do. You know what I mean? It's like you build a mental clock so okay, at this mark I had to start doing something else because this is gonna take another 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that. So you build it up.
How do you know what moves to do at the time with other person?
Do you practice the match before actually doing the match?
Some people do. Some people don't. It all depends. I think this time and what the fuck am I trying to say? Today's wrestling is more like I think a lot of people like to choreograph it. Yeah. I think that's bad because when shit hits the fan and then people aren't reacting, then you're like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, what do I do now? Is the people aren't reacting, but I still got to go another 13, 14, 15 minutes. So now what do I do? Are they going to keep booing me? And a lot of people don't know what to do. So they got to react. They got to change shit up. But that's the cool thing where we train. We do that. We manipulate things. And you got to build a mental clock. Like I said, you got to learn, okay, these people aren't reacting to this. I got to do this. I can't do this because this person's weighs 300 pounds and I'm at 180. I can't, you know what I mean? It's got to make sense. You can't do certain shit with all these people because then people are like, this is fake. You know, but I mean, I've had my share of concussions. I've had MRSA one time. I had that shit on my back, the staph infection. I had that. I popped a pimple one time. I had it on my back. It was an ingrown hair. I had that. I popped it, went to wrestle, got infected. I had that shit MRSA. I had to go to the hospital and all that, and then get antibiotics. I've had a concussion. I split my shit open right here on my eyebrow. I had that. I had to go get stitches right after the wrestling match. You know, so people say like it's fake, but I mean,
it's fake in the sense like the outcome
predetermined type.
Right. But overall, it's like
it's real deal.
It's hard.
You gotta know how to fall. You gotta know how to do everything.
You know how to do everything. I've seen people that come in that are just the laziest people. Like they just come in and they look fat as hell. And I'm thinking, like, this guy's trying out. What the fuck? All right, well, you know, I don't say anything. I'm not going to disrespect nobody like that. So they come in, and you just look at them. And, you know, when you see someone, you're like, this person has no business being here. But, you know, whatever. They go in, and then they do their thing. They leave, and they never come back. Because they're thinking, oh, maybe this isn't, you know what I mean, what I thought it was. But, you know, it's just we
got to work out.
Like, we got to work out. We got to train. Like, but, I mean, it's just, what do they say? They're separating the boys from the men and all that. So it's all that. I mean, it's, you know, there's different things. I'm sure it's the same thing in every sport. You know,
and everything.
And everything we do.
Do you wait? So when you guys are like going to the match, right? Do you guys like whisper into each other's ear, like I'm gonna throw you right now?
It all depends. I mean,
stay on your toes.
Sometimes, I mean, you can't do that all the time. There's people like that are in there, they're listening. You got we call them smart marks, you know, but whatever.
So you just read each other's body.
You have to read each other's body. You have to read. You know, have to know. Yeah, that's where the training comes in. You can't just go in there and do the shit, and then because you don't know what the hell you're doing. I've had people that go in there and they just like they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're tense. And all that, but like you got to just train. Like I said, I love what I do. I've dedicated time to this. You got to train. You got to perfect yourself to it to get to the pros. Because obviously, I never want to get to a point where it says, "Oh, I'm here, I'm good enough." Like, no, you have to fucking get better.
Do you have someone that you're like, you know what, this guy reads me real well. I want to wrestle him.
Yep. There's chemistry. There's people that you meet and you have a match with them, and then you have chemistry. You have chemistry with them. They could read you. They could do this. The crowd's reacting, and they're reacting good. They know how to manipulate it. They know how to do certain things. And so it's good you connect with those people, and obviously there's people that are just like fucking I gotta do this because this guy doesn't know what he's doing, but you don't want to make it seem like that. So I mean, yeah, man, like I said, there's just people that have no business in it, but then there's people that do, and like I just want to get to a point where I earn everyone's respect. I want to get to a point where like I'm okay. I was here and now I'm up here. I'm making money out of it, whatever the case may be. But even if I don't ever get to that spot where like I'm making money. I at least I could say I did this for so many years and I enjoyed the hell out of it. You know, that's always the thing, always a thing, and that's why I started doing powerlifting. On the belt,
Do you? So when you were discovering your persona, like how did you know you were going to be the heel, or you were going to be like the heel, or what do you call like?
The heel. Yeah, I mean,
the heel, the bad guy, right?
It's like I said, it's up to the promoter what he wants to do.
Oh, he decides
what he wants to do, but it also depends if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, he's not going to tell you go do this.
Yeah.
You know, if he clearly sees that you're being like a fucking. Like, oh, this guy's nervous. This how he's gonna shit his pants. I'm not gonna put it. You know what I mean? There's certain things that you have to take on your own. Like you have to decide what you're gonna do, or you have to. Hey, if I have a plan for you to be over here, you got to start doing. You know what I mean? You got to start going towards this way. And if you're not, then he's just gonna cut it. You know, like this. But I respect everybody that I work with. I try to do everything that I can to make them look good. I said to make a good match. Everyone in front of us. You know, there's a crowd. Whether it's a shitload of people or just like not a lot of people showed up, especially with COVID. You know, whatever, don't matter because we got subscribers online and they're gonna see this. So
who do you what is your character? Are you a good guy, bad guy?
I'm a bad guy.
You're a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy. Bad guy. Yeah, I do the whole thing with this. With racism and Latinos and all that, and like I'm a Latino, and then you guys are all like screwing
like Eddie Guerrero style.
Yeah, he's cool. He's one of the idols. He's one of the greatest. You know, like all that.
Dude, I remember growing up because if you grow up, you become a wrestling fan, right? This was before, especially 90s, before the
80s, 90s, man.
Yeah, especially before the UFC, because UFC is like fairly new, right? Yeah. But back in the day, I used to love wrestling so much, man. My main guy was Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sexy boy, man. He's just a sexy boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And then you had Sting.
Yeah.
You had Goldberg.
Yeah.
You had is there Randall?
Randy Couture?
No, is there Randy Savage?
Randy Couture. No, that's UFC.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. he's like well, bald white guy, right? No,
yeah.
You know, and dude, I used to have the little toys. I had the wrestling ring, and I used to be more of a WWF fan. You know, once like WWE came into the picture, I kind of left out. But back when you had NWO, you had all of these like cool like. Oh, dude, it was the best, man.
It's just a different era, you know. It's the different era what was going on, and now obviously the product changes. You go into a different thing. I'm a fan of both. I like both. It's Obviously, times change. You know, just like in every sport, things change. But I'm still a fan now. I love what they're doing. I hopefully one day, you know, something.
Who was
happens.
your guy growing up? Like, who was the guy you were like?
I don't know, dude. I had numerous people. Eddie, obviously Ray.
Yeah.
I like those guys. I like what they do. As far as wrestling wise, I can manipulate it. I studied them.
Yeah.
Obviously the big guys, Taker, Kane,
Yeah.
Stone Cold, all those guys, obviously. But you know, obviously at one point you look at it and you're like, oh, I want to fucking do that. So after that happened with the whole school thing, I was like, I got to do this. And then I just started doing it. But then obviously I need to build up my body and get ready for this. If I want to be getting slammed, so that's why I started doing powerlifting and all that. So I need to do that. But yeah, man, I love what I do. I love competing. I love wrestling, all that. Started doing acting more because I think it would be dope to do movies. And all
Sure,
that.
yeah.
So,
and wrestling, right? Because it's acting.
Of course,
because you got to play the
it helps
persona,
out. You got to
like,
manipulate everything like that. Obviously, I think improv would probably help me more, but I like acting, so I like all that stuff.
What?
Go ahead.
What is? How do you get to the second level from here? What's the next level? What's the next step for you to go to maybe a bigger promotion?
Well, so this guy, so where we're at Premier Pro Wrestling, he, like I said, he used to work at the WWE, but so he's talks to them still. For me, it's just getting better here, and he's the connection with them. He talks to them still. He's talking to the trainers out in WWE. So there's that connection there. For me, there's no need to go anywhere else if I'm with these guys. If I'm with these guys, everyone's trying to find that, okay, who knows who. This guy knows directly to the person there. He's been a mentor to me, so he's there. And yeah, I just need to stay with him. And then obviously when the time comes, obviously we were in talk with him, but COVID happened, so that kind of ruined everything. But so man, just keep working hard. Just keep working harder there. And hopefully when COVID is done, there'll be more tryouts where I can get into. Hopefully,
so it's not one of those things where, like, let's say, WWE is in Chicago, right? And they're doing a show, and they're like, we need a guy for tonight. We need one of our guys like pull a sprain or whatever the case is. Like, and they're like, hey, they call your guy, right? PBW, and they're like, hey, you have a guy that can, come this weekend and.
It's a little
take a fall for us.
It's a little complicated than that. I mean, they might call you in for something and do something completely different. But I mean, you're not, just because they call you in, it doesn't mean you're in the main roster.
For sure.
They might come and tell you to do something different. Maybe a little backstage thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, any opportunity is good. Any opportunity is a good opportunity. What do they say? It's like any publicity is good publicity type of thing. But but it's always it always depends. So the main goal is to be part of that roster and all that. But if I don't ever make it there, then at least I fucking love what I do. I love what I do. I love training for it. I love the powerlifting, everything like that.
Yeah,
everything like that. So,
dude, have you seen the show? I literally just found the show last week. It's called Lucha Libre on Netflix.
I've heard of it.
You heard of it?
I haven't seen it.
Good, dude.
I haven't seen it.
So I mean, first of all, Lucha Libre, like luchadores in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like those
actually,
guys
I've seen one episode. I think.
Those guys are badass, man.
Yeah.
The way they move within the body, they spin. Like around people's bodies, dude. And then those movements, dude. I mean, I'll pick that over WWE any day because those I don't even understand the science behind it.
Yeah.
Like, how does gravity stop working? Because they float literally, dude. It's like you put your arms out like this, and they just spin circles here, and then they come around over here, spin around the neck. It's like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, it's just it's the whole thing with the chemistry type of shit. You gotta know who you're working with. You gotta know what the hell you're doing because if you do that with some fat out of shape dude, he's not gonna he's gonna drop you. It's just,
but even like some of the fat, because I got up to 8 episodes, and I was like I was working, and I'm just gonna watch it all night at work. That's what I do. and I was
saving lives
it,
now.
And I was like, I was watching it, and I was like, it's so interesting because it's just how Lucha Libre has been around Mexico, and it follows some luchadores that are going through the system, right? And like you said, people who already did it, people who are just coming up, people who are going through the tryouts, and I was like, man, dude, this is incredible. I mean, it's a watch, man. Like I really got into it. Like I don't know if it's on. I think there might be 2 seasons, but so far I'm in the first season, and
they showed the process from the start to where you become big. And
and they talk about El Santo. You guys know El Santo, right? Yeah. And I have a luchador mask. Every time I go to Mexico, I try to buy one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dude, it's cool, man. Because there is a sense of pain when you put on that mask. You're just
it's kind of it was the moment you step to that current, you're different. But I've seen that shit. They're a completely different culture. They're like 100%. Like, hey, like you disrespect this shit, we're fucking. You know what I mean? Like, there's some serious stuff right here.
It's real out there.
So yeah, it's real.
Because the way they said it, they said that the guy who wins, and who knows how much true it is too, right? But they were like, the guy who wins the match is the guy who had the best conditioning.
Okay.
Because if one guy starts getting tired, you're gonna lose the match. Because I mean, even though it's like you said, they're trying to hurt each other, you know, it's all part of the act, right? But if you start getting tired, you don't deserve to win this match.
Of course.
No.
Like I'm gonna win this match. And then it's like you could just tell, like the guy he'll like try to spin on your head, and and he'll be like and he's like it's kind of sloppy. He's like, oh, you're done, you're tired, so I'm gonna go for the pin.
I mean, they run a little different, but I mean, that's not how it usually is. But I mean, everyone runs a little different. I guess I can see what you're saying. But yeah, no, it's predetermined. But yeah, man, I think it's up to the guy to get themselves in shape. It's up to us to get in shape. If you're gonna come in here and you're not gonna take it serious, and why the fuck, you know what I mean?
Is it insulting when you're having a match with somebody and they're gassing out minute 2 and you're just
not really? Sometimes people just have bad days.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you know this guy's history already and they're always like that consistently, it's like, dude, come on, like you have to. You know what I mean? You have to get yourself into shape. I won't disrespect them. I'm not anyone to disrespect nobody like that because everybody has different body types, all that. Yeah. But when we get to the back of it, hey, dude. Like,
hey.
Hey.
Ooh, sorry. You looked at you slightly. It's all like.
I think you just gotta. It's up to you to take care of your body. Oh, you have to do your own things.
Is there weight classes in pro wrestling? No. So you wrestle big guy. You wrestle
you, man.
Yep. You have to make it make sense. You have to make it make sense. The only thing when there's weight classes that I've done is just in powerlifting. That's it.
Okay.
Other than that, but on wrestling, no. You have to make it make sense.
So that being said, how many belts are there? Just one belt?
Depends. Every promotion has different.
No, but they have like heavyweight belts too, right? And like cruiserweights. No, do they or no?
The one we're at, no. It just has one main belt and then the tag belts. That's it. Every promotion is different. Yeah. I don't know how other people's promotion, but that's the way we run. Yeah. We have one big belt and then the tag belts.
How far away are you?
Yeah, have you gotten the belt?
I got it a couple times.
Yeah. Okay.
A couple times.
How does it feel? Even though it's like it's predetermined, but you're just like.
I mean, as long as people boom me. As long as people boo me, I don't give a fuck. So.
Yeah.
As long as they boo me, that's all I care. Because like I said, as long as I'm here feeling the fucking energy from them, and they say people have said the most racist things to me and all that, so that's fine. I mean, it's no different than the regular life. Like, I mean, we're Mexican, you know, like all that.
You talking about Trump country?
Yeah, there you go.
Boy.
Yeah, it happens all the time. You know, you guys deal with it, like fucking it's happening. And when you talk to somebody else that's not like a Latino or something.
Dude, I get salted the other way around. Where they're like, we're like, yeah, I thought you were Italian.
Oh my
God.
How
dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? I'm Mexican, right? You call me a damn beaner. You
God.
You mean it, right? You throw that taco bar at me.
Don't call me a what do you call an Italian?
Guido? No.
It was like the thing. It wasn't a news. Like they were like getting mad because they're like, you call me a like Kumo. Remember Kumo got mad because it's like somebody called him Alfredo. What was it?
I don't know.
Oh no, isn't it? Well,
you got it. It's over.
I don't
know. I'm saying isn't the racist term the WAP or whatever?
It was something like that, but it was like
I guess I don't know.
It was something, but like nobody knew that was even like a slang for Italians, and they're like, you made it popular. Nobody knew that was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, we fucking, you know how it goes. We just deal with a bunch of stuff as the Latinos and all that. So I mean, especially with now, as soon as Trump got hired, like all that happened, or not hired, but put into office. But you know, we deal with like I remember the first time I went into work, and like not even just work, anywhere where I went, like I went in there and somebody was like, hey, it's the Trump got elected, and I knew it was gonna happen right away. I knew I was gonna deal with it everywhere I went. I walked in and they're like, Trump got elected. And I'm like, I'm just casual about it. And they're like, hey, how does it feel? It's like, feel to get deported. And I was like, what are you talking about? And in my head, I'm like, fuck this guy, dude. I'm like, today's not the day. And they're like, well, yeah. And then he said something, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, spick. And I'm like, what? And then he's like, yeah, spick. And I'm like, call me spick one more time. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, call me spick one more time. And then he kind of just like, I think he kind of saw like that, like, oh shit, he's kind of pissed. Maybe I should back off a little bit. Yeah. And then he kind of just backed off. But it's just like that people don't understand it. Sometimes they look at, I think that was their past of being like, okay, now it's okay to be racist.
For sure.
That's the problem. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. Because it's like it's almost like they think they have this like.
It's an unsaid rule. Yeah. Like also, we're good. We're okay. Yeah. We're okay. We're fine.
You know, and I've been fortunate, man. I got to like, realistically, man, I've had very few moments of like legit racism where I can be like, well, this is legit. Yeah. Like what I'm experiencing right now is like legit. Like this guy trying to be racist. But I mean, I know some people. I mean, I'm a light Mexican. You know what I mean? As it is, you know what I mean?
Italian, bro. But you still look Latino.
Yeah, I still look Latino. Yeah, like I'm still Mexican. I mean, you look at my little brother, it's a different question. But that is white. But you know, I don't know if that plays a factor because you know, like I know like this guy over
Hey,
this dark. But this guy, you know, I see him. I think, you know, terrorist. You know,
Middle Eastern, bro.
yeah, Middle Eastern. You know what I mean?
God.
But yeah, overall, man, it's like there is like a lot more instances of that. A lot more instances.
It went up, and people. I hate when people act like it's not true, and they're like, "No, it's not true," and all that. Like, dude, obviously, you and me, like, we live different lives. You look like that, I look like that, and it's like I don't want to like sound like it's like, oh, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. You know, I don't try to put a hate on nobody. I don't try to do like the whole racism thing. You know, I try to avoid that. You know, I try to talk to everybody nice, like, respect. But sometimes people just. They act like, okay, now's my chance to say this, and then they just do it.
Dude, I've never, at least in since when I graduated high school, I've never really felt any type of racism in the 10 years.
Oh, I've heard a bunch of racism.
I've not, dude.
On your part.
Well, on my part?
Yeah, when people say something about you.
How?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How?
Well, everybody disliked you. Everybody disliked you.
Who he is, or like who?
Oh, maybe you know what? Maybe it was personality. Sorry, no, not racist. Personality.
Okay.
God. That's how people are, man. You know, they I don't know. I just hope that I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where like change happens. I mean, hopefully this next election. I mean, I don't know. Oh, something happens. I guess I want to get to a point where everybody were like.
Look, I'm okay.
We're too modernized.
You know,
we're too modern.
I'm okay with you not liking me. I'm okay
yeah,
with
that's
that.
fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm fine. Like if you
don't
you
be talking shit about where the fuck I come from. You know what I mean? Like,
but and then just understand this. Just understand this aspect. If you talk to me like that, person to person, there's a good chance. There's a good chance there could be something physical, right? I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hit you, but maybe you need a little. I've always said this in the podcast, dude. Everybody needs an ass whooping.
Yes, I was just literally talking about this the other day with someone. Yep,
dude. Everybody needs an ass whooping because you need to be reminded. You need to be reminded. There's always somebody stronger than you. There's always somebody smarter than you. Yeah. There's always somebody better, right? And some humility goes a long way. Goes a long way, dude. And you know, I remember as a little kid, you know, I got beat up. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you got. Maybe
you did the beating up.
You came out 6 feet out of your mom's womb. You know what I mean? But you know, like everybody's got in there as especially because you know I did martial arts, I did boxing, I did Muay Thai, I did Jiu-Jitsu, right? Yeah. You get humbled. You get humbled. You know, there's always somebody who's gonna like strangle you. You know, get you an arm like you're like, oh, I'm the big shit here. Yeah. I'm just like every other guy, and then that guy's gonna get manhandled by the next guy. Yeah,
right? It's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, it's always a bigger fish. Yeah, bigger fish. But people forget that. People think that he could just come up to you and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk reckless," and expect you to take it and just not do anything.
The internet helped that out a lot, dude.
Well, the trolls,
keyboard warriors.
The trolls will always be. I think that's never gonna disappear, right? But person to person, you gotta.
That's what happens. Yeah. I was talking to someone, one of my friends the other day. I'm like, this guy's never gotten his ass whooped and it shows. Like, you know how they do that thing where they're like, none of you guys have done this and it shows? That's what I've said to a couple people. I talked to some guy. I don't want. Oh, whatever. I'll just leave it. Anyway, I talked to this guy, and I'm like, this motherfucker over here looks like he's never gotten his ass whooped and it shows. He's like, why? I'm like, because the way he acts and the way he walks around here disrespecting people. I'm like, this guy needs to get his ass whooped. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do nothing like that. Yeah. The only way I'll ever get into something is if they say some shit to me. But if they're over here disrespecting other people, I'm like, dude, this guy needs to get his ass whooped. You know, and like I don't want to fight with no one. I've been in a couple fights, but like, you know, like it's just one of those things where like this guy needs to get his ass beat. The way he acts, the way he walks around here, like he needs to do it. And I think maybe sometimes that racist people or whatever people how they act. I think maybe just a little bit of an ass whooping, like you said, they will straighten them out. Yeah, doing, you know?
And not that it always has to get physical, right? Obviously, but it does go a long way. Yeah, it does go a long way. And you know, it does. And in the day, you know, like that dude, like for example, let's say you got roughed up a little bit. It's a lesson. Yeah, it's a lesson. You know, and he might be better from that. Or it might get worse, but he might be better. He might be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be talking like this. Yeah, you know, around people. You know. It's gonna happen again.
I think when it comes down to racing, dude, it's just something you have to talk about. You have to talk about it with another person of whatever race, man. Just like we're like everyone else, man. Everyone else like everyone else. We're human beings, dude. We all bleed red, man.
That's the ideal, right?
We're too modernized to still be dealing with this, BS. You know.
Yeah, like it's okay. Like I said, it's okay to dislike me. Yeah, but dislike me for who I am.
My character. Yeah. My personality, whatever.
Not for what I look like. Yeah, I mean, unless I'm really ugly, you can kind of a little bit. I get it.
I hate me too.
Yeah, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, God damn, you shouldn't be around, man.
So like, why are you still here?
How are you still alive, man? I would have called it quit 10 years ago.
I don't know. Hopefully the people's views change like that. You know, hopefully the next generation coming up. I mean, as bad as it sounds like, I don't want to say like the racism. Like the people that are racist are like the older generation. And hopefully, like when they pass on to a better life.
Dude, but even then,
next generation.
Even then, it's like, I think those people still had kids. And those kids are racist.
And they taught them that.
And those kids are passing it on to the next.
But I'll tell you this though, man. Especially now, the younger generation, there's so much culture influence in social media that it's kind of you see white kids doing dances that you never seen them do before.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There's just so much mixture of culture now.
Yeah,
because of social media, because of the internet, man. That the younger generation is not coming out like that.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, I lost my train of thought. I had something to say. What did you were saying?
Cultural influences people.
Yeah. Oh, because here's the crazy thing, right? Like I'll get people in the hospital, man, and they're like 80, 85, and 86. You know what I'm saying? Like 90, 100. I'm like, oh, you lived through the civil rights movement. Yeah. When you were alive, black people couldn't even go into the same restaurant that you were in, and these are the people that were taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, I know you have a dark history. And maybe you weren't one of them. Maybe you were one of those like progressive minds back then that were like, hey, you know, we're just people. Like, let's get together. But some of these people for sure, you know, they're like, hey, what is this guy doing here in this restaurant? Hey, back of the bus. You know what I mean?
They went through that.
Shit was, you know, it's not that long ago. No. You forget about that. You know, people make it seem like it was like, oh, slavery was like blank, blank, blank. It's like,
70 years, man. Think about 70 years.
It's not that long ago, my friend.
I was talking to my girlfriend, and then like she told me about this. That happened to her. She was dealing with this guy at work. He said something where, how did it get brought up? Basically, he said they should have been, how the fuck did it go? He said they should have gotten back on the boat and went back to, basically talking about African Americans, but he's like, they should have gone back on the boat.
Got back to Africa.
Yeah, went back to Africa when they had a chance. And then she's like, what? And it's like this older white guy, and he's just like, yeah, they should have gone back on the boat. And then she's like, when you mean when they were brought back over here when slaves? And he's like, yeah, they should have been whatnot. You know, they should have gone. And then she's like, how the hell were they going to do that if they were slaves? And then she's like, well, they should have figured it out. And I'm like, what? Those are the people that are like those are the people. Yeah, those are the people that deserve to get their asses beat. I think those are the people. And then like when you look at them, and it's like at the same time, I don't want to like. It's not my job to go over there and tell them, hey, you need to learn your fucking history. You know what I mean? But that's because you're just ignorant. Like, I don't want to waste my time with those people, but at the same time, I feel like maybe I don't know. I don't know if I'm wrong with that.
You can't change ignorance. Ignorance.
I don't know if I'm wrong with that or not addressing that, but I mean, at the same time, I don't want to waste my fucking time because this dude's like fucking 70 years old, and I don't feel like he's thought of this for 7 years old.
And you can break it down to him, man. You can be like, look, man, this is how you know, everything works. Jim Crow laws, you know, segregation, you know, all of this, right? And you could be like, hey, you know, and then once they were here, they weren't about that life anymore, right? Like after being like in America for so many years, like they don't know the language anymore, right? All of that was pushed out. Yeah. You know, customs, culture stayed, right? But overall, like Africa, what they knew of Africa was not those same people. Yeah. These were like generations and generations. It's like us. It's like for example, like a fourth generation Mexican in the United States. More than likely, they don't speak Spanish. More than likely, they don't even know what Mexico's about. Yeah. And more than likely, their name is like Tom Sanchez.
Yeah, they've already been like, they've already been Americanized.
They've already been Americanized. They don't know anything about that culture anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe the mom still makes quesadillas in the morning. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, we're Mexican. You know, mom makes quesadillas and she makes enchiladas.
She says quesadillas.
Yeah, quesadillas and enchiladas.
Tortas,
and, you know, it's like I get it. You know, because of how life has come, you lost your, in a sense, you lost your way because you lost who you were, right? People. I don't come down. I don't believe in that whole patriotism. You know, I think that kind of mindset can backfire extremely. I'm proud to be an American. I love this country. You know what I mean? You know, I would go to war for this country. But it doesn't mean I'm not Mexican. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Mexico is my home. You know, I was born here, but Mexico's my home. Like, I feel
so your roots are.
You can't take that away from me. You know, any day of the week, the United States could be like, I'm going to revoke your citizenship. What am I? I'm not American anymore. Yeah. Right? But I'm always going to be Mexican. You can't take that away from me. Yeah. You can't take that away. I don't care if I don't have a Mexican citizenship. I don't care if United States takes my citizenship away from this country. I'm always going to be Mexican. Yeah. that's
where you come from.
that's who I am.
Yeah, and that's what people don't understand. People just sometimes they're like, oh, you're not Mexican enough, you're not American enough, and you're like, what the fuck? I get away from like what? I don't know. I just like I said, I don't like dealing with it.
Yeah.
With all those people that just talk like that. As soon as they start saying comments like that, I just back away from them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, man, yeah, cool, yeah, nice, yeah, you know. And then in my head, I'm like, that's the last time I'm talking to this dude. Like, what the hell? Like, get away from me.
Block.
Yeah, like get the hell away from me, you know. And there's just, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully that shit changes. You know, I use a lot of fucking Spanglish. I talk in Spanish. I talk in English. Everything. I mix all that stuff up.
Yeah.
But hopefully in the future, as the racism dies off more, because obviously with the shit that was going on with Kenosha and all that stuff, everything all around the world, it's just gonna keep happening. And hopefully, I hope this next election. I mean, I voted Sanders, whatever the fuck. But you know, we got what we got. But hopefully, I just hope something happens where some changes happen.
Yeah, we need something, right? We need something. We need something in the positive route. And obviously, I mean,
it's almost like we need another Martin Luther King to come in again and like shake things up the right way. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like we need that again.
But I mean,
it's sad because we just had it maybe 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. That again we have to come back to it.
Yeah, it's like it has if you look back, has things really changed since then? You know, like maybe like the segregated is not as much, but I mean, you know, like there's still people, police killing people. There's still, and then when you talk to somebody that hasn't gone through it, they're like, no, you're just. If you don't, what did they say? They say, if you just act right or whatever, the people won't shoot you and all that. Yeah. And I'm like, dude,
it's not the case, right?
No. Yeah, like, I talked to Breonna Taylor, tell all these people, you know, like,
and there's examples of people who are like anybody can go online and find examples of what you're trying to say, right? You can find examples of. I mean, me generally speaking, man. I think there's good cops and I think there's bad cops.
Yeah,
right? There's good doctors, there's bad doctors.
Of course,
there's,
everything.
You know,
good lawyers, bad lawyers, everything.
Everything, right? And do I think the majority of cops are good? For sure. Of course. Because if they were bad, then it would be a lot fucking worse. Yeah. Right?
They're laying their life on the lines. Of course, respect them. Yeah.
But if you go out of your lines and you say that that you're like, well, you know, all cops are good because look at the examples. Cops donating food, cops donating gifts. Of course. You know, those are good examples, right? Yeah. But you can go the other way around too. You're like, oh, look, all these examples of cops killing people. And yeah, I can find a million videos like that too.
Yeah.
But that's defeating the purpose because you can find anything of anything. The point is that we just gotta come to an agreement where just like, look, there's bad and there's good and good.
Yeah. Now, what are we gonna do about the bad?
What are we gonna do about the bad? And and we have to and the good has to be accountable for the bad because you guys know this, right? I work in a hospital, dude. I have nurses, I have people that I used to work with. You know, for the most part, you know, people I work with are great now, but I had people in the past that was like, you shouldn't be working in this field. You shouldn't be working in this field because you're not doing a good job about it. You don't care about the patient.
Yeah.
You know, like how many times did you go in that room and check on them? 0? You've been here 12 hours? Yeah, once have you gone in there checking them?
Yeah.
You know, or it's like, I'm like, hey, they're complaining about pain medication or whatever. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll get to it. And then like 4 hours pass and I'm like, have you done anything about it? Because this guy's in pain and he needs something. And this is like legit, like he's in pain.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm about to get it now. You're not built for this job.
Yeah.
This is not for you. Go find something else because you don't care enough.
Yeah.
Right? You don't care enough about these people. So maybe this isn't for you. Doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Maybe you are. Yeah. But maybe this is not the field for you, right? Yeah. And it's like in any other job. This might not be for you. Maybe you should leave before you just make things worse.
Before you kill someone or something, anything, whatever it is, dude. I just hopefully like I don't know, maybe it's a training. I don't know. I'm not in that field. I've known people that are in it. They said it's a difficult job, obviously. With
I have my brother. He's a cop in the city.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Then it's just a difficult job. It's a whole different world. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the solution is. I don't want to act like I know what the solution is. Yeah. But I mean,
you don't want to solve it right now in this podcast? What? You don't want to solve it in this podcast?
Fuck.
I thought we were not kidding.
Oh God.
I thought we were running for office.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's a whole other headache.
Mero Mero for office, man.
That's a whole other headache. God damn.
We're running at what's it called? Not a third party.
Third party. Yeah, there you go. No,
Independent. Yeah.
All right. I don't know, man. But I just, like I hope shit. I don't know, man. I just want people to be more aware and think before they actually do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully. That's the only thing that we could do is teach our kids that. But I hope
be
that
kind
happens.
to each other, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's always gonna be the number one thing, right? Like, just be nice to each other, man. Like, you know, I have enough respect. Like, if you're wearing, like you say, I don't agree with Trump, right? But if you're wearing the MAGA hat, I'm not gonna go up to you and talk shit.
Right? Yeah. It's like, you don't need to talk to them.
No. It's like you do your thing, man. If you want to roll that way, fine. I don't care, man. but I would expect the same courtesy my way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't
That's all.
always go that way.
That's all.
Exactly.
Right?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it doesn't always go that way, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame. But hopefully that changes. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this.
I
This is
think we're all
one-
tired,
yeah.
man.
It's tired. I'm tired of being on the other side of it, and then it just. I mean, like I'm not black, but I mean, there's black people have their own problems, and then Latinos have another problem, and everybody has different problems
Yeah.
and all that. Like I'm just, and there's another like
And
group
white
of people
have
that
no
don't.
problems.
Yeah, I didn't say it. You know, everyone has problems, you know. But I just
You
want it to
can't
be
pay 'em.
addressed.
It's hard, man.
I just want it to be addressed. You know, like I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
people
yeah.
to. I don't know. I just want everyone to be equal and be happy and all that. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink some more of this. And
Yeah,
it's just
right.
fucking. I'm
Yeah.
fucking
wait,
buzzing.
wait. Here, let's jump on another subject, man. Before we solve the world problems, right? 'Cause they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that from this podcast, right?
Puta madre.
Yeah. Powerlifting, man.
Yeah.
Probably. How long have you been doing that?
I been doing it for I think. Oh fuck, man! It's 2016. So it's 4 years. 4 years. Yeah. I mean, I've always been lifting, you know, because of football and all that.
Yeah.
Been lifting. But then after after college stopped, and I left D3 football. I was like, okay, I'm gonna still keep lifting. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I want to start training in something. And then my girlfriend was like, yeah, we need to start. Let's do something because I feel like I'm working towards something instead of just training. We looked for stuff on the internet, and then we saw bodybuilding, we saw physique competitors, and then we saw powerlifting. And powerlifting, I think to me looked like the most fun. So I'm like, let's do it, fuck it. And then we found a meet out in Rumbo La Chingada. Where was it? Lebanon, Illinois,
Lebanon.
somewhere. Yeah,
Lebanon.
what is it?
Lebanon.
Lebanon, yeah, down south in Illinois. Yeah, we found out there, and we're like, let's go compete. Screw it. 4 hours of a fucking drive. We went out there, and I mean, it was good. It was a dope ass fucking meet. I liked it. It was my first meet. But after that meet, I got hooked. I think we did 3 meets, and then after that, like I was like, yo, we need a trainer. We need a trainer. If we're gonna do this serious, we need a fucking trainer or something.
But showing up, you had like you did you know what to expect? Like, do you know? The
No,
rules?
so I showed on my first powerlifting meet, right? So I knew it was squat, bench, deadlift. Those are the 3 main lifts. You get 3
What is it?
attempts.
Squat, deadlift, and bench?
Yeah, squat, bench, deadlift. It's you go in there, you do the first lift, your 3 lifts, but you get 3 attempts for each lift. So first is squat, you do your 3 lifts, and they take your best lift, and then they put that on the charts.
Yeah.
Then it comes bench, and then it comes deadlift. 3 lifts for each one, and they take your best ones and put it up on the chart, and then they add them up. It's in kilos, so they add it up, and then whoever has the best weight out of that weight class, you win the thing. So I go up there, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the thing, whatever. And I looked up on YouTube. I have to hit certain depth, all this. There's certain
Yeah,
specifics.
because you got to retain it, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
benching, you got to hold it for a second.
You gotta hold it for a second, and then you have to wait till the commands. It says it. If you go up and they didn't say press, then that's they give you
Disqualified. Or not disqualified, but
that lift
yeah.
don't count. So now you have another chance. You know what I mean? So I was up there, and like I was looking at the people in front of me. Okay, what's this guy doing? And I look at this guy. I'm like, hey, I'm so and so. I'm introducing myself to everybody, thinking I'm like, I need to get some information out of these people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, we're gonna squat first. Yeah, okay. And I'm like, and then he goes up there, and then the guy went up there, and he came back. And I asked him, because I'm behind the curtain, I'm like, hey, what's the depth and all that? You can't just go parallel. You have to go a little bit parallel, like the little, I don't know what the fuck they call it. Right between your hip has to be a little bit between, little under and parallel.
Yeah.
So for that to count.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's like, yeah, they're going to do this. And then some judges are dicks, some judges aren't, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go over there. And I did my shit. I did my lift. And then every time I came back and forth, I would ask them, like, hey, what do I have to do for the bench? What do I have to do for the deadlift? Like a deadlift, you have to come up and you have to hold it. And you can't just let it go. And I didn't know that. And I'm asking these other people. So I was nervous, man. I was a fucking wreck. I didn't know what to do. I'm looking around asking everyone. And I told my girlfriend, I'm like, we got to do this. We got to do that. Okay, cool. And all that. And then, so, I mean, yeah, it's nerve-wracking. You're up there first. And you see the TV and the chart and all that. But, I mean, it's a strict thing. It's USAPL. That's the federation that it's called. Mm-hmm. USAPL. And, but no, since then, man, you get better. You get better after every certain meet. I think I've been in like 6 or 7 meets.
Yeah.
No, and so you just get better as time goes by, and like we're just trying to build a brand off of it. Me and my girlfriend, hopefully with something, I don't know what, because I don't see a lot of Latino brands in powerlifting other than one that we went to. This guy that his gym's called Surge. But other than that, I don't know anybody else. So I mean, we can do something off of this, but it's just a process, man. It's a process, and hopefully.
So
we
this
can
that
build
first
something.
lift. What did you weight wise?
What did I compete in weight wise? Fuck. I think it was the weight class is 74 kg.
What is that?
That's like I think the cutoff was 163 pounds. I think that's the cutoff, or 162.
You get weighed in that day.
You get weighed in the morning.
The morning,
and then then you whatever, you go eat, and then you come back, and then you compete.
Oh, okay.
But I was in the lower weight class, so I did that my first meet. and then now I'm in 83 kg. So like the cutoff I think was 183 pounds. I think that's the cutoff. You can't go past that. Yeah. It's like between 163 and 183. That's the weight right there.
So you're competing between people and not in
between that weight.
Oh, that's kind of wild, no?
Yeah, between that weight. So it's better. It benefits you more if you're in the heavier. Heavier. Sure. If you're lighter, then I mean, good luck, man. But it's just you got to be in the heavier weight class.
Yeah. So what are you lifting right now? Like, what is your max?
I mean, I trying to get back to my weight. It's what the fuck? I squat right now at 425, bench as of right now it's 280, and then deadlift is 465.
That's nice.
465. So I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm getting started. I'm not competing this year because of COVID. You have to wear a mask at every competition. So I'm gonna wait another year. So when that COVID's done, hopefully we're not wearing masks still. But I'm just gonna use this year to get bigger. Hopefully I can gain more weight. I'm at 172. I think I want to weigh at least 180. Ooh, but it's just a matter of eating more, dude. It's hard. Right? It's another chore, dude. Not my man. I'm eating there. I'm like, fuck this, dude. I don't want to.
Yeah, and you're not dirty bulking, huh?
No, hell no. I did that one meet. I felt disgusting. I felt disgusting. I put my singlet on. I looked like I was pregnant. Hell no. No, hell no.
You had the bodybuilding.
No, it was disgusting.
Bubble gut, dude.
I felt awful. I felt slow. I felt sluggish. I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, dude, you're disgusting. But no, I can't do that.
You're horrible.
Hell no. Yeah, so no, I got to. Now I'm bulking in a way, trying to bulk up more, but just eating more protein. That's the main new thing. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but it's
are you still taking whey protein and all that?
Yeah. I'm still taking whey protein.
Casein,
yeah, I'm taking
amino acids.
I'm taking the plant protein. What the fuck is it? It's by Microsheed. You know what Microsheed is? You know CT Fletcher.
Oh yeah.
It's in that click. He came out with his own plant protein, so I'm taking that. Just pretty much a regular pre-workout. I'm not taking nothing crazy. But that it's just a matter of eating more, dude. I'm not eating enough.
You're not taking like when you compete. Is there people taking like shots of whiskey and stuff like that?
No, I haven't seen that shit.
Oh, that is a thing. That is a thing.
Maybe they did. Yeah. Maybe I've seen. I've heard of it.
It helps you increase your blood pressure at the moment. You know.
I've heard of it, but I don't know if they do it. I don't think they are. I've heard of it. I mean, unless they're sneaking it in the back, and all that. But
pop out a little flask.
Yeah.
Or the smelling salts is another one too.
They do that. Yeah, they do that, but they do it behind the curtain because they're like, don't do it up there because it's gonna look bad to the people. But you do it in the back.
Oh, they'll judge you on that?
What's up?
They'll judge you on that?
No, like it looks bad to the crowd, I guess. To the crowd, they're like, drugs. They don't know what that is because to the average person, they don't know.
That's all he's like,
they don't know what that is. You gotta do it behind the curtain and all that. So I tried it once, and that I don't know, man. It's just like it opens everything. I'm like, holy fuck! Like I don't know. It's cocaine feels like holy shit, but
is lifting when you're working out and you're doing your reps? Is it so like do you lift more when you're doing your reps than when you do actual competition? Because you said like 285, right?
That's for bench,
yeah, max. Like, are you benching like 300 when you're working out? And
no. It's when I work out, there's a different. I have a coach to deal with all that shit. Because if I did it, I'd have a fucking headache. There's like a process that he does. It's like between like a 4 to 8 week thing, and then maybe he'll do a 12-week thing, and it's all like a progression thing. 1 week it goes by percentages. 1 week you might do 60, 1 week you might do 70. Then he'll drop it back down, and then he'll put back up, and then and I always send him videos. So depending on how good like maybe my squat looked like shit this week. And then maybe I need to do more, I don't know, lunges and all that. So he'll add that in, into the workout and all like that. So it's good to have a trainer because if I did that by myself, I'd be fucking lost. I don't deal with all that shit. So I tell him what I want to do. Hey, I want to squat this. I want to bench and deadlift this. All right, let's do this. And send me daily videos when you go. And hey, you need to work more on this. You didn't hit depth on this. That's what I work on. So
what's the number that people in your weight class are doing that you're like, this is like, winning weight?
What do you, like how do I know that they won?
No. But I'm saying like for you to be able to win more than less, like I have to be at least benching 315.
Yeah,
I have to be squatting at least.
It really doesn't matter. There's no number. No? Whoever just lifts the most at that meet. Okay. Now, if you want to compete for a bigger thing that's nationals, that's for the best in the United States. You have to hit certain numbers in that weight class. Sure. That's what my goal is.
Just to even be looked at, right?
Just to be looked at. They raised it up because last year a lot of people qualified, so they raised it up to like a 1,500 pound total. So like everything that you do, your top 3 lifts have to add up for my class at least 1,500 pounds total. So I mean, dude, I need. So
you gotta be at least deadlifting around 650, 700.
Maybe
right?
Maybe somewhere you lag, you make up for it in this and all that.
Benching, I mean, for that weight, I mean,
you have to at least hit 315 at
315
least. At least, and then deadlift 5 plates at least, and then squat whatever. You know what I mean? Like you just got to go up and all that.
Do you find it easier using the Olympic weights? Like plates?
I think it's the same thing to me. It's the same thing to me. It don't really matter.
I've always thought that if it was when the weight was more spread out, for me personally, I always found it harder. I like it when it's close, right? Because then I know like I have my 2-3 plates right here. But when you start adding the 10s and 15 and everything starts spreading out, like, no, I don't want that. I want to just give me as little plates as possible, but get me to the weight where I want to be at.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
and the Olympic weights are like super fit, no?
It depends. Yeah, they're like, those are like 25-pound plates and all that. But I mean, I don't know. I just use regular plates. If I go to a powerlifting gym, they use the kilo plates.
Yeah.
So that's different. But yeah, dude, I gotta take a piss.
Yeah, go
ahead.
Give me a second.
Yeah. I'll make fun of this guy while you're gone, man. Looking good over there, man. With the
thanks, man.
Clean white,
dude. Clean white.
Insomnia.
Get the Mexican one.
Dude, how did you feel last night, man? Were you tired?
No, dude, no. I think we could have kept going another. We could have kept going. I think there's still more conversation.
No. Conversation wise, there was.
Just tired. Why? I wasn't tired. No. I was good.
No,
I was good.
I was a little drained, man. But I think it was I had worked the night before, so I was running out very low sleep.
Yeah.
But dude, I woke up at 1 a.m, dude. I woke up at
1 in the morning?
1:27 a.m.
Oh, dude, I went to bed at 12. I didn't wake up till 6:30 the next day. I was done. I mean, I was tired. I mean, of course, like anyone else. Your head hits the pillow, and it's like, all right.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I don't know what's going on with insomnia, dude. It's literally like
you've been having it worse, dude.
Worse, dude. I've been waking up at 1:27.
Plus, you overdose melatonin?
No, I didn't take it.
No, take it. Oh.
No, I didn't take it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like it's weird. It's happening every night. Like, I'm like,
that's draining you. That's draining you.
And it's weird because I woke up like this. I'm sleeping. I'm having a dream, and then my eyes just went like this. Like, this open up.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it was like, bing, and I was like, whoa, hey, what's going on? And I looked, and I obviously I'm seeing the room is dark. Yeah. And I grabbed my phone real quick.
You see what time it is? Yeah.
Like 1:27. I'm like, what's going on, dude?
Right, let me go to sleep. Come on.
I'm like, give me something, man.
Sorry, dude, I really had to go.
No, it's fine, dude. I'm barely holding out, dude.
When I was over there, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I saw somebody just standing there. I don't know if it's the fucking alcohol or I thought I saw somebody. I'm like, no, man.
Dude, this one time, dude. This one time.
I'm not gonna. It's a ghost story.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to hear a ghost story?
All right.
Okay, so we were. I don't think my house is haunted. I do believe in all that bullshit. I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
Right? I believe in the Llorona. I believe in the
course.
Cucaracha. I believe in everybody, right?
Uh-huh.
And but I don't think my house is haunted or spooky or anything like that. But this one time we were recording an episode. I forgot what episode.
Oh yeah, I know. You remember?
I forgot what episode, but it was just me and him. Nobody's here. Nobody's in my house. It's just me and him. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're recording. We're talking. We're bullshitting, doing our thing.
It happened twice actually. It happened twice.
Yeah, but one time it was clear.
Yeah. One time it was clear.
And we're talking, and then all of a sudden, we hear like somebody coming down the staircase to the basement.
Loud steps.
Clear steps.
Clear
steps. And then we hear the movement around the bar, coming around the bar.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, we were talking, and I knew we were alone.
Yeah.
So we were talking, and I heard it. I didn't want to react to it because I'm like, oh, it's
like the steps that I just did. You heard those steps.
Yeah, like clear steps. So, and when you watch the video, you hear the steps.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. And we were just talking, and I ignored it at first. And then once it sounded like they were walking here on the actual floor around the bar, we stopped.
We both looked.
We stopped and we looked over there, and you go, and I was like, I remember like we looked at each other, dude. We looked at each other. We were like what's going on here, man? And we actually stopped, man. We stopped. We stopped the video. And I'm like, I'm gonna go check real quick, man, because it's like it was weird.
Yeah,
it was weird,
dude.
And obviously, I went around. I looked. Nobody was home. It was just us. But it was one of the moments where you hear it clear. I forgot. I wish I could tell you what episode it is, man.
Dude, it's probably like when we first started, man. I think.
And it was one of those things where we were just like, it's like the video is called Unknown Steps. If everyone wants to look at it. Unknown Steps. That's what I
think it was like in the very end, no?
It was like mid 10, and you hear it clear. You hear it clear. You go, like footsteps, dude. Literally, like somebody was walking from here to there, dude.
Like on the floor or like steps on the stairs?
No, on the floor. No, we heard it from the stairs. If they were coming off like the last like 4 like stair steps.
Yeah.
And then we hear it like coming around the bar, and my younger sister, I thought it was her maybe because she's a little shorter, so I'm like maybe we just can't see her around the bar.
Yeah.
But I was like, nobody was there. Nobody was there.
What'd you do then?
But no, we just continued recording.
Yeah,
we just talked about it for like a couple minutes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but we were just like,
just let it be. Like,
yeah, all right. We're doing a ghost adventure episode, dude. We're Right now we're looking at we're looking at a couple locations. We're looking at the Palmer House in the city.
Okay.
It's a hotel, you know.
Yeah.
And right now all the hotels are closed, but we're hoping we can get in, because my brother knows they go in there a lot and he talks to security guards. So we're trying to get away from like, hey, can we like, you know, do a ghost adventure basically for like 4 hours, because the hotel's empty. Right. They don't have anybody there. Can we just like slide in for 4 hours, do an episode, and then like dip out? But if not there, we're going to this house in Iowa where a whole family got murdered. And the and it's supposed to be a super spooky house. You could rent the night, so you can stay there the whole night. And we're gonna do an episode, record everything, go through the whole go through the whole thing, dude.
Are you gonna sit inside the place, the recording, or
yeah? We're gonna do video, we're gonna record, we're gonna do the audio, we're gonna do all that.
We're just gonna leave a third mic just open, like
but we're not gonna do the episode there, but we're just gonna record, do like a like a legit ghost adventure episode, right? And then we're gonna go through all the audio, see if we pick up anything on the EVPs and all that stuff, and then we're gonna come back here and do a podcast episode talking about the episode. But obviously, we're gonna release that episode, of the video. But and then the episode after would be us talking about like what we experienced there when we were there.
Let me. Do you have time for hear one or?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Hey. Ghost stories, dude.
Hold on.
We got days.
This is my favorite thing to talk about, dude.
Cheers.
Shit.
Tap mine.
This is what this is.
Eastside. Insomnia mixology. You can look it up.
So it was. What is this? Was back in like, I want to say 2010. Yeah. So a bunch of my friends and us, we went to Cuba Road. Do you guys know the history, like in Barrington, Cuba Road?
Yeah.
No.
That's like the one where it's like people like the train, right? The car goes backwards and stuff like that.
It's a lot of random shit.
Yeah.
Barrington? In Barrington, there's a road called Cuba Road.
No, yeah. No. Dude, was I there with you?
No, you weren't. I don't think you were. You? No, you weren't there. Why? What happened?
We did go to a haunted house though when we
I remember that.
Yeah, and you remember the dog?
I remember that, but that wasn't that. That wasn't.
But
that.
you remember like going like down the dead end, and then we saw like a big black dog, and the road kept getting, and we were lost because GPS couldn't pick up.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember. I forgot
he's part of the ghost story, dude.
That wasn't that one though.
Okay,
That's not the one. Okay, hold on. So that was a different time. But okay, so we were in Cuba Road. This road called Cuba Road in Barrington.
I remember.
And they had this famous cemetery, the White Cemetery, I think it's called. We went there, me and a bunch of friends. I don't think you know any of them, but anyway, we went there, and supposedly the whole cemetery is haunted and whatnot, and you see shit. So whatever, we go there. This is in 2010. We went out there, and on the way there, we got stopped by a cop because we were in like what kind of car was it? It was like it was a small ass car. I don't remember, but like it was like 6 of us in there. So there's a bunch of us. You know, obviously the cop's gonna stop us. He stops us, and he when we're about to get there, and he's like, "Hey, a bunch of teenagers." He stops us and he looks at us and he's like, "Where you guys going?" and shit. And we're like, "Oh, we're going to a White Cemetery." And he like stops. He's like, "What?" And then I'm shining his flashlight. And he's like, he looks inside. He's like, "There's 6 of you in this car. You know, we all got seatbelts, whatever. Yeah. So it don't matter." So he's like, "Okay, well, I guess you guys are good to go." And he's like, "Just be careful because, what do you say? A group of teenagers died out there like 2 weeks ago. You know, and they were racing, I guess, supposedly, and they crashed. And this was like, I think, almost Thanksgiving. Yeah. So he's like, just be careful out there because we don't want anybody crashing. You know, that's a bad gift to give your parents, you know, but right before Thanksgiving. We're like, "Yeah, officer," he was cool as hell. "Hey, yeah, officer, thanks a lot. All right, cool, whatever." So he let us go. He saw us all have belts. We went there. We get to the cemetery. We actually got out of the cemetery and walked around. We didn't see shit. We all separated and whatnot, you know, obviously just being there creeped us out. Yeah. So we didn't see anything. We got back in the car, drove around still, and we're like, we don't see shit. Fuck it, let's just go. Whatever. So we're already annoyed. We're like, we're not pissed off. We're just like, whatever. This wasn't shit.
Yeah, it's not what you expected.
Yeah, we're like teenagers. We're high school, whatever. It was like 2010, our senior year. So we're like, whatever, screw it. As we're driving, we pull up to this stoplight, and nobody's there. So it's like your typical fucking, this is like, let me throw this in here for your story. But this is actually what happened. We pull up to the stoplight. We get there and we see it was foggy. So we get there, there's red, it's yellow and it turns red. We're like, nobody's here. And I tell my friend, I'm like, "Yo, fucking step on it, fucking whatever." Just giving him shit. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm not going to go. Just fucking do it. No, he doesn't do it. Whatever. Well, we're turning left. We're going to turn left. Another car pulls up next to us out of nowhere. He pulls up next to us. it's a bunch of people. It's like probably like 6 people in the car, 5 or 6 people, guys and girls. They're talking shit. They're like, hey, whatnot? They're honking and shit.
They want to race.
Yeah, like race, let's race. And then I look and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, hey, I tell my friend, I'm like, yo, let's fucking race. And then he's like in a fucking Buick or something. I don't remember. But he's in the Buick, 6 of us. I'm like, hey, race. And he's like, nah, I'm like, stop being a bitch, whatever. You know, so he starts flooring it, but he doesn't race, whatever. So the light turns green. They take off. They're laughing and shit. And I'm like, fucking, I told my friend, his name's Kevin. I'm like, fucking pussy. I'm like, you gotta fucking race. Nah, I'm not, bro. Everybody's slimming him shit, whatever. I'm like, whatever. So we take off. We're driving down the road. And then another car passes. This guy's driving slow. I don't know why the fuck he's driving slow. A car passes us to stay on the side. Fucking passes us. He's flooring it and shit. And then he goes up the hill and then he fucking vanishes it. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna race this car. It's another Mustang. I'm gonna race it. He's like, no, I'm not gonna race it. No, I'm like, whatever. So he takes off and then whatever. He leaves. Now this is like on a Friday or this is on a Saturday. Now we go back to school on a Monday because we're seniors. Yeah. We get to school on a Monday and then I'm at my locker. I'm like, getting my shit out. My friend Kevin, he comes up to me and then he's like, hey, Vic. He says, yo, I gotta talk to you, dude. And I'm like, what's up? And he kind of looked like he was like wondering shit or like you could tell when someone's like confused. Yeah. And he's like, hey, so Saturday, right? And I'm like, yeah, what about it? And he's like, we didn't see shit. I'm like, nah, it was fucking, I'm like, whatever, stupid. So he's like, hey, fucking, do you remember the people that we pulled up to in the front? When we got to the stoplight? I'm like, yeah, what about it? And then he's like, do you remember the cop that was talking to us before that? And I'm like, yeah, what about it? He's like, do you remember what he said when a group of teenagers died on that same road? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you remember how there was nobody at the stoplight and they pulled up to the light and came up to us? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, what about it? And he's like, do you remember how it was a group of teenagers in the car and they wanted to race us? I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, and it just started clicking. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you think that was dumb? And I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I'm like, well, and I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, well, maybe. And then he's like, oh, I'm just wondering, dude, do you think that was dumb? I'm like, holy shit. So I don't know if that was it. And then
you guys didn't do like any research over it? Like
I looked at, so I don't remember, dude. I should have looked that up.
Trying to find the car.
I didn't see nothing, but I didn't see nothing. But like, okay, so then they look clear as day. Maybe it was a coincidence. I don't know. But I forgot to mention this on Saturday. That same Saturday too, when we got back after the White Cemetery in Barrington, we got back to Woodstock. We talked to our friend, and then and they're like, because they knew we went ghost hunting. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, what happened with the ghost hunting and all that? And they're making fun of us, talking to us. I'm like, dude, it was stupid. Like there was nobody there. Like we didn't see nothing. And then my other friends like, yeah, dude, there's just some stupid Mustang passed us on the side. And then like everybody, like there was like 3 group of friends that didn't go with us. They're like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, there was a Mustang. And they're like, was it a black Mustang? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, did it pass you on the side? I'm like, yeah. Well, yeah. What the hell? And like, did it try like racing you or whatnot? I'm like, yeah, were you following us or what? And I'm thinking it was them. Yeah. And he's like, no. And he pulls up his phone and he shows me the article of the fucking, I guess supposedly a Mustang or a GT or or whatever the fuck. A Mustang it passes you on the side, trying to run you off the road or trying to get you to race them. I guess that's part of the thing. That's a ghost supposedly that some Mustang people have reported trying to pass them. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, what? Wow. And he shows me and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, and he's like, yeah, dude, that must have been something. I'm like, no, it couldn't have been. And I look at my friends and we're like, dude, what the hell? What if that was something else? And then, but I mean, I don't know. Cause like, I remember I was in the back seat. There's a driver and here's the passenger like in the back, but like, and the car passes right on the left side. And, and I'm looking out this way, my head's on the side, I'm like, whatever, this is stupid. And then usually you can hear a car passing by it. You can hear it pulling up. Yeah. I didn't hear nothing until it was right here. Until it was like right by this.
It's almost like it just appeared.
Right there. It just fucking appeared. Yeah. And I was looking out and it just appeared. Like the lights shined and it just appeared and passed us. And then I didn't think anything of it. But I'm like, what the fuck? And then I told the guy to race him, whatever. But looking back on that now, it's like, well, what if that was... I don't want to say it is. I don't want to say it's not. But I mean, it could be something where
weird.
Like,
trying to collect souls, man.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, like right? It's not like, oh, this is a ghost. That might be
it's
like
just coincidence, right? The cop brought it up.
Yeah,
and it happens to be like the same car that's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. It's weird, man.
Now the Mustang. I'm not saying like, oh, this is a ghost, but I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not.
Yeah. Would you go back? Would you go back?
I would. Out? We did. We did go back. We did go back. We went and we walked the cemetery again. We didn't see anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it was because I don't know, man. Maybe it's just luck that you need to.
I think it takes like a third sense, man. I think some people are definitely more susceptible to that. I've been fortunate enough, man, that I've had moments where I'm like could have been, but I've never seen something like where I can say 100% sure that I'm like this is, and I want to, but at the same time I don't want to.
Right, that's how I am.
You know what I mean? Like at the same time I want to be like, I need to see it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, well, it's okay.
I mean,
I want to see it alongside with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's how I was. Yeah.
I don't want to be alone and be like all of a sudden, be like, feel tickle my balls and be like, what's going
Yeah.
on? Like, oh shit.
Like, fuck. That's how. I don't know, man. Maybe it was something. I don't know. But like, if I saw them, like, they look clear as day to me. Like, you know what I mean? With the people at the stoplight. I don't know. I don't know what was them.
Dude, I'll tell you one ghost story. I'll tell you one ghost story that happened at work. Not with me, but a coworker of mine. I've mentioned this one before.
Yeah. I remember this one already. Yeah.
And so, in hospital.
Okay.
So this is back when I used to work in Woodstock at the old hospital.
It's
Now
Integra.
It's Integra. Yeah. Now that's been remodeled and is used for other things. They don't take patients there anymore. But back at the end, right at the end when we were just about to leave and go to a new hospital. You know, there was always talk about some rooms being a little weird. You know what I mean? I never personally saw anything. There was one like unit that was supposed to be like, legit haunted, but it wasn't my unit, so I really didn't go along there. But it's one time, my friend, she was working, and this is at the end. So she was the only, I believe she was the only tech on our unit. And she said it was just regular night. She was busy. There was a lot of patients. She was back and forth going to different rooms. And the way it was set up, it was 2 long hallways, right? And in the middle was separated by elevators. And as in the middle,
Wait,
so one unit.
There's a hallway and there's 2 elevators like on the side. Okay.
Yeah. And so one unit was my unit, IMC, and then the other unit was considered a message, right? But we were only separated by the hallway with the elevators. But as long as you were on one side of the hallway, you could see all the way down to the other one, right? And that's super long, so you can somewhat tell who's down there. You can be like always you saw one of the other techs or one of the other nurses, you would just be like a nice little wave or whatever.
Down
right?
the hallway.
Yeah.
And trying to picture. That's why.
No, it's fine. Yeah. And she was working. It was probably like 4 hours into the shift. I mean, maybe around 11, 12. And so it's nighttime. And she said a call light goes off. So she goes to that room. There's always like a little light that pops out on the other side of the door, so we know what room is calling. And she goes and she's walking down the hallway. It's not one of the rooms that's near the end. I mean, it's one of the rooms that are near the end, but it's not the last room in our unit.
Okay. And
she sees one of the other techs from the different unit, right? So same thing. Like every time we saw each other, we would be like, "Hey," a nice little wave, acknowledge the other person. And she said she looked at her, and she's like, she waved at her. The other tech waved back. She told you she saw it. You didn't see it. No. Okay. This is just from her description. She waved at her. She gave her like a little wave. She waved back. But remember, she looked at her and she's like something was different. But at the moment, I didn't think about it. But we just acknowledged each other. We waved back. I went into the room, and asked her to talk to the patient, and then I get back out and whatever. I just continue my day. And they're like, so a couple hours passed by. It's probably closer to 1 or 2-ish. And our nurse supervisor, the one who controls like the staffing in the hospital, she comes up to the unit. She's like, "Hey," she's like, I might have you go help the other unit because they don't have a tech tonight." And she's like, she told you this? Yeah. She's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, they don't have a tech. They've been they've had no techs, which is our job, right? Like they've had no techs all night." And she's like, "No." She's like, "I saw I forgot what her name was, but I'm gonna call her Emily." She's like, "I saw Emily across the hallway tonight," and she's like, "No," she's like, "I think you were mistaken because they've been like 0 techs all night," and she's like, I saw her. She acknowledged me.
I just waved at the bitch. Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't. It was just literally a couple hours ago, and she's like, "No," she's like, "You must have died with somebody else." And here's where it gets a little weird, right? Because one thing, this girl specifically at that time, she had like really bright red hair. She had this painted, right? So it was clear. And we're not far enough where I can't see you. I can still define your face. I can still see features. And the one thing that she found weird when she saw her that first time, that she wasn't wearing glasses. And she always wears glasses. So she was like, but at the moment she didn't think much of it. But she was like, "That's weird." But now when she was like looking back to it, she's like, I'm pretty sure it was her. I mean, the only thing that was off was that she wasn't wearing glasses, right? Because she was wearing the same color scrubs that I was wearing. Like I said, not far enough where I can't tell who she was. And she acknowledged me, so I know that was her, right? So she's like, oh, "Okay, well, that's weird." She must have gone homesick, or she must have like come by to get something from like her locker or something, right? And she's like, maybe the nurse, like she she doesn't know exactly what's going on. So she texts her. She's like, hey, sorry, this is random, but did you come in tonight to grab something out of your locker? Or were you working earlier and you went home sick? And she's like, no. She's like, I called in sick today. I haven't been to the hospital since last week. And
that was the chick that she thought she saw waving back at her.
But that was the weird thing about it, man. That it was, she saw her. Like, she saw, in a sense, she saw her doppelganger. Because, like, she saw her, the thing, whatever that was, acknowledged her. Yeah. Because she waved at it and it waved back. And it was clear because the clear redhead was her, body type was her, scrubs was her.
How far was she?
I mean, okay, so let's say, right now you're looking, I mean, obviously you can tell because you're here, right? Yeah. Let's say our hallway is maybe this whole length. Yeah. And maybe another one. Okay. Right? And then add one more.
That's a little bit of a distance.
Not that too far, but it's like, you're used to because everything's well lit at night.
Put it like 50 yards.
Like, maybe like almost 50 yards, yeah. But you can tell because it's, you're used to seeing down that hallway all the time. You know who works over there. Yeah. There's only one tech. Yeah. Maybe two on a good night. And then nobody else had that hair color at that time. You still fucking
see someone on it.
And you saw her. She saw her. It wasn't her, but she saw her. And she was tripped out the whole rest of the night. Yeah. She was like, what happened?
Nobody left at the cameras or nothing?
Yeah. No. I mean, obviously we had I don't even think we had cameras like necessarily pointing at each other.
Integra.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And she was like, whatever I saw, waved at me, acknowledged me. At the moment, I did feel like something was off. Yeah. But I just didn't think much of it. I mean, like maybe she's wearing contacts or whatever the case was, right? But then after everything conspired, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that was something else."
I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense because it's a hospital. How many people die there and all that? Yeah, so I mean, who knows who the hell it was?
But that's the weird thing about it, right? Because you say, "Yeah, I saw a patient." Right? We didn't have a patient, whatever the case was, right? But it was a person that works there. Yeah. So whatever that was took an image of something that had already been there.
Well, on that note.
Yeah.
When you see shit like that, what do you do? I mean, do you keep working or what the fuck? Or like...
Yeah, she was like scared. She was scared of like afterwards. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never personally seen anything, man. It used to be another story where there was one hallway where they would always see an old man walking with a walker, not with a walker, with an IV, an IV pole, and that you would walk down the hallway. That you would walk, so there'd be the horizontal hallway, and then the vertical hallway which led to that haunted department, and you would walk by it, and then you would, in the corner eye, or just like glancing, you would see an old man walking, and then you would come back and be like, "What are you doing outside in the hallways?" And then there would be nobody there. Yeah, and it was something consistent that multiple people would see.
With and
then there was an exorcism once in that unit. Yeah, dude.
An exorcism?
That's a whole other story. Yeah, but
I mean,
yeah,
I want to hear about this shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, there was so that unit was called
same place. It's Integra.
It's Integra. Yeah, different department. We were second floor. They were first floor.
An exorcism? What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. There was a department called 1 West, and weird things were there would happen all the time. TVs would turn on and off. Phones, things would be moved around. Yeah. It was an observation unit, which is like people just go in there and they go back out. They might be there 6 hours and leave, or they might stay the night at best, but then most likely they're gonna like leave relatively soon, right? So the unit it's built, it was separate rooms, 1 bedrooms, but the door would be like the door and the wall would be glass, so it'd just be like a sliding glass door. We had curtains to give them a little bit of privacy, but you can basically see within all the rooms. And yeah, like it's always been said it was haunted. That's where they would see the old man with the IV pole walking down the hallways. Weird things would happen there all the time. And I guess this one time they had this one patient who was something was just off. She was freaking out. She was just crazy. She was yelling. She was mumbling stuff. And the family had to be Catholic, right? They were like medicine isn't working. The drugs that you're pumping into them not taking effect. She's just crazy. She's tied up in the bed. She has restraints on legs and not on the arms. Yeah. Okay. And they're like, would it be okay we brought a priest in?
The fuck?
And they're like,
bringing the big guns.
Yeah. And the hospital was like, yeah, if you want to bring your priest, that's fine. We don't have any problem. Really? We have our own priest. We have our chaplains.
I thought
You
they would
know.
have had like an issue with that. Okay.
No, because we have chaplains, we have nuns that can come through,
Yeah.
and especially when people are dying, a lot of, we get a lot of that. But they were like, yeah, she's like, can we bring a priest? And they're like, yeah, for sure. So they brought the priest, and then the follow up question was like, hey, can we we're gonna perform like an exorcism? Is that okay? And they're like, I mean, do what you want. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Can they get sued for that or something? Or
No, because it's one of those things where it's like it's gonna happen in the room, and maybe they weren't even told. I don't remember exactly if they were told or they were just told afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a priest came in, did an exorcism on this person, and supposedly, to my knowledge, from what I heard, right, was that it's like she got better, like she was good afterwards.
Damn.
And not only that, but things quieted down in that unit. Like, I guess stop being weird. It stopped being weird for like, I think it lasted a good while, or it was indefinite. Like there was like nothing weird happening anymore. Like phones weren't going off. Like
the power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, like, straight up. Like the old man walking the hallways wasn't seen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like supposedly like that exorcism like cleansed that department.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I mean this is and this happened while I was working there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was like one of those things where. You know what I mean? Like I've been in rooms where when I got in, and especially when I would be in a room and then you have that one patient where you never know, right? But they just like their eyes are just looking at one direction.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey,
yeah,
hey, what are you doing over there? And I'm in the room and the lights are off. I'm getting jeepers, right? I'm getting a little bit of you know what I mean? And look, you can see my bucket. and I'm in the room with them, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, oh, don't go down this road.
I'm so fucked right now. I'm
you know
so
what I mean?
fucked.
And I'm like, I'm the only one in the room. The light's dark. The room's dark. I don't turn on the lights because I don't want to wake up. I feel bad, right? I don't want to wake people up and stuff like that. And so I'm in the room. They're looking at one direction, and sometimes like. I just out of my years of experience, man, I feel like I know when a patient's just like out of it and they're just like drugged up and they don't even know, and their eyes are just like wandering off and and things like that. I can tell that, but then sometimes, not often, but sometimes, it does feel like they're legit looking at something, and sometimes they are because they get imagining things and whatever hallucinations, yeah. But sometimes even then there's like another level where I'm just like, oh, that's a little weird. It's a little weird, and I'm like, who are you talking to? Like in my head, right? But like, who are you talking to, man?
Well,
there's nobody there. Like, do you not see him? Do you not? He's standing right there. Or they'll say family names. Like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, if she starts yelling Tom, it's her husband who passed away a couple weeks ago, or her husband that passed away a few years back, and they're like, Tom, what are you doing here, Tom? I'm like, why you gotta bring up Tom? Why you gotta bring up Tom?
I don't know.
Get here, Tom.
And, and it's hard not to do this, man. It's hard not to be like to look in that direction what they're looking at.
Right, because you're gonna think you're gonna see some shit.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I do, but I don't.
Yeah.
I do and I don't. And you know what I mean?
You know what you're gonna see.
I want to have that one story. I want to have that one story like my friend does, where I'm like, I saw a doppelganger, or anything like that. But then at the same time, it's like, oh, dude, this is gonna suck.
I don't want to go down that path.
And I get Catholic real quick, man. If I start feeling
Padre Iniestra.
yeah, Padre
Pulls out a rosario out of nowhere, bro. Starts wearing it.
I mean, I go. I'm a man of faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't go to church often, but I'm very. I have a lot of faith in me. So definitely there's moments. Like, every time I go to the hospital, every time I go to work, I always give it a little like, vibrisino real quick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's moments like that where I'm just like, fuck, dude. And I see people die. What I mean? I see people take their last breath, and there's in the hospitals, at least in nurses, there's a lot of Filipinos.
Okay,
Filipinos tend to be very strong Catholics as well. So they kind of have similar customs that we do. And there's been a lot of times when they're like, hey, if somebody dies, like open a window.
Open a window.
Just so they can
spirit out, or?
Yeah, their soul can leave. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense if you put it
it's
that
like
way.
little things like that, man. It's like open a window, like, or like, hey, be in the room when he dies. Just be there with that person.
I guess it makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like, so they don't die alone. But dude, I feel like there's been times when I've seen them like when they do the last like, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it almost sometimes you can even see, like, you almost feel like you see somebody leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously the color disappears and everything disappears, right? But there's a little bit of like that energy, spirit, whatever you want to call it, man. We're just like, you know what I mean?
Just leave the room.
And sometimes I throw a little bit like,
Yeah, what can you do at that point?
Yeah, I'm like, you know, go, hopefully, wherever you go, man, it's fucking good because it's rough, man.
It's just fucked here, yeah.
It's a rough life, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, let's end on that, right?
Yeah.
Let's end there. Because I can go.
I know.
You want to go 2 hours ghost stories, dude?
Fuck.
I got you, man. But yeah, Victor, man, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. It was a year wait. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We, I tried to get you on last year, but we just lost communication. But where can we find you, man?
Social
plug
media.
anything in.
Social media, dude. Fucking Instagram. I just started a TikTok. And then I'm building up the Twitter. Mero Iniestra. ELMERO. And then my last name, INIESTRA.
Yeah.
Look me up
and
on
that's
there,
for TikTok, Instagram, and
Twitter.
And
And then YouTube is just Vic and Lily. I'm still building that up, but yeah, Vic and Lily. So
Vic and Lily.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, hell yeah. Dude.
And yeah, dude. Whenever you want to come back on, man. You know,
Welcome.
obviously,
Of course, hell yeah. Thanks for having me, dude.
You know, we love those talk. If you want to talk ghost story, you want to have a full ghost episode? We'll have you back October. We'll just go down the boat, dude. Down the boat, man. When it comes to that, go ahead, Gamal.
You guys can follow us on YouTube, Daily Insomnia. Hey, check us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Google Podcasts, wherever, guys. We have a website up, dailyinsomnia.com. And you guys can follow me at Instagram, King Diaz Live.
Yeah.
So.
And like always, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting, subscribing on our Instagram, our YouTube page, on our Facebook. And obviously, we'll link everything for Victor in the description for YouTube and our Instagram. And like always, guys, this is Daily Insomnia. Signing off.
Peace out, y'all.
Oh, I missed it. Hey guys, Ramon from Daily Insomnia. Thank you for watching our video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button right here. Watch our mixology videos up here. And if you want to see our latest episode, it's right here. Like always, guys, this is Daily Insomnia. Sign off.